between two teams that we could say are going in opposite directions in the Sevier County Smoky Bears, who now stand at 4-1, and the Hardin Valley Academy Falcons, Hawks, who are now 3-3. Started off their season really well, Harrison, but started playing in a very, very tough 6A region against some incredibly difficult teams and have been on a slide trying to get their offense back on track tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. They started the season really hot, but like you said, once you get into those district games, those are some really good teams, and they felt the force of those good teams.
You know, when you have to play a Maryville and a Bearden in back-to-back weeks, that can be an awful difficult task for anybody. But make no mistake about it, this is a Hardin Valley team that has some weapons, including a quarterback, Stanifer, who is a dual threat kind of guy that can make things happen with both his legs and his arm.
Absolutely. This Hardin Valley team is more run-focused than they are pass-focused. They've only thrown 31 passes on the year, but like you said, their quarterback can hurt you with his legs, and that's a really huge asset for a team, like you said, that's trying to find their footing offensively.
Meanwhile, for the Smoky Mountain Bears, or Sevier County Smoky Mountain Bears, they are standing at 4-1. The one blemish on their record, and I know it eats Todd Loveday up, is that loss to Jeff County earlier in the season. And, you know, he talked to me at length today about that loss. I just said, you know, Ron, it was such an odd week, not making any excuses for us, but if you remember that game, that was the week that we had weather at near 100 degrees or slightly higher all week long, and they weren't able to get any practices in. Yeah,
that heat really affected a lot of teams, and it certainly affected these Smoky Bears. Tonight, great weather. It feels great out here, and looking forward to a great game from these Smoky Bears and from these Hawks.
Well, as we come back here to Bob Roberson Field, what a beautiful, beautiful field and facility this is, Harrison, to be on top of here and to overlook the mountains. And you know, when I look at this, I always want to call them the Smoky Mountain Bears. Roddy just corrected me just a moment ago back in the studio that they're not the Smoky Mountain Bears. They're just simply the Smoky Bears. But when you get up here and you look at these mountains, it's easy enough to call them the Smoky Bears.
It certainly is. It's a sight to see.
Smoky Mountain Bears.
Yeah, it's a sight to see up in these Smokies. It's absolutely beautiful. It's no better setting to play a high school football game.
Yeah, and this is just a gorgeous, gorgeous facility. Let's go ahead and bring up our top 10. If our graphics individual bring up our top 10, and we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Or actually, I believe our Your High School picks are actually first tonight. We'll talk about some of those matchups. Well, while he's bringing those up, let's go ahead and talk about the big game tonight in this area, and that is Knox West and Alcoa. What a, you know, somebody's going to drop out of that top spot, and someone's going to move up. In this case, when you look at sort of the reporters and the newspapers in this area, Marshawn Bowers got hurt last week, and you know, that's a big loss for Knox West because a lot of that offense runs through that tailback.
Yes, it does. He's a strong, really powerful running back, and like you said, losing him is going to be a big blow to those Rebels.
So we'll see how those Rebels are able to navigate those waters. For Alcoa, they just seem to be peaking right now at the right time. You know, they got a big weapon in the tight end, Eli Owens, who is and has been graded as probably the best tight end in Tennessee. Some consider him the best tight end in the nation.
Yeah, he's a great player. He projects really well for the next level, and he certainly makes a difference and an impact for those Tornadoes. And it certainly helps when you're surrounded by as much talent as he is.
You know, just for those who've not seen Eli Owens play before, 6'8", 260 pounds, just wide in the zone. Defensively, great linebacker in Elijah Cannon. So defensively, those Tornadoes have got the ability to go toe-for-toe with a very good Knox West offense. Once again, I just simply believe that it's going to come down to can they get past the loss of Marshawn Bowers. Just for those who are listening in the Alcoa range, this is an Alcoa team right now, Harrison, that's averaging 32 points per game.
Yep.
I mean, it's just dominant right now. But on the other side of that coin, Let's talk about Knox West, who's won 21 consecutive games going back to last season's undefeated Class 5A championship run. It currently, right now, is the longest active win streak in the Knoxville area. And just for the record, West beat Alcoa 29-26 on the road in a last-minute play that many felt was pass interference, clear pass interference.
Yeah, like we said, this West team is as hot as they can be, not just this year, but going into last year. And like you said, having that win, that big win on the last play last year to look back on and reflect on, that's going to be some bulletin board material for Alcoa, but for those Rebels, it's going to be something to look back on and say, let's make it 22. So.
Well, one of the players we've talked about on this show several times for Knox West is 6 Horde, and last week 6 catches for 139 yards and 2 touchdowns. As well, just for fun, he also had a 7-yard rushing touchdown to top that off last week. You saw him on the horizon coming, and you knew that he was going to be a big weapon for the Rebels, and sure enough, he's developed into that.
He sure is.
So that's going to be just a boxing match of titanic portions. You also have Bradley Central tonight at a pretty good Farragut team. Once again, just a brutal 6A Region 2 that week in, week out, these guys just beat each other to death.
Yeah, they certainly do. Every team in that region is good enough to beat one another. Certainly there's ones that are better than the others, but they're all great teams. They all play hard, play super physical, and nobody's got an easy schedule.
And we knew the addition of Boo Carter for Chattanooga Christian was going to make a big difference. Sure enough, he has. He's shored up that defense, particularly in the secondary. They're able to close quickly on any pass on the outside. But the play of Caleb Martin, who's committed to the University of Miami, he's made just a big difference. They very well may be the most talented team right now in East Tennessee.
There's a very good argument for that. They're just, with the skill players that they have, especially like we said with Boo Carter, who we saw last year at Webb for Chattanooga Christian. Watching him with your own 2 eyes, you see just how insane of an athlete he is, and so it's no surprise that him and the rest of the cast of characters at Bradley Central have been able to put together a really good season so far.
Let's talk about the big, and we've got some big matchups right now in this area as you continue to see just these district games start to take place. Bearden at Maryville. What a big game, and you were talking to me because you know the family. Will Jones provided a big spark for them last week.
Yes, he certainly did. The freshman stepping up in a big spot. Maryville's had some injury issues on offense that have really hurt them. Losing Gage Ledoux hurt them big time in the last couple weeks, and they've had both of their quarterbacks go out, and they've had to have a freshman, Will Jones, step up. And I was fortunate enough to play baseball with both of his older brothers who also played football at Maryville. And let me tell you, that family is they're the best athletic family you could think of. Every single one of those boys works their tail off every single day. They've got a knack for the game, and they're just exceptional, great young men, great athletes. And I'm really excited to see what Will Jones can do for my alma mater, my Rebels.
Now, if you're watching at home, you have the benefit of seeing homecoming tonight here at Sevier County, and what a big opportunities for these young ladies tonight, who are many of them student athletes as well. So we're glad we're able to bring this to you tonight. Other games that we're going to want to mention tonight: Morristown West at Jeff County. Jeff County has played well this year. Once again, 6A Region 1. But they're looking to get that win streak up to 5 against a very good Morristown West team. Patriots have only allowed 21 points or fewer in every game they've had this year, so a very, very good defense. Now, if we'll go back to our top 10 for just a moment, and we'll go through the rest of these. Elizabeth is at Dobbins-Bennett tonight. That should be an excellent matchup.
Without a doubt.
Tonight. Rhett Slagle last week nominated for our player of the week with 4 touchdowns. Greenville travels to Sullivan East tonight. Boy, Corbin Cannon has just come on. Beat Volunteer last week 56-0.
Yeah, that was a big time win there.
Now, one thing we're very, very excited about is next week's game. And we had to make a change of schedule, but boy, what a game we picked up, as we will be at Bearden next week, who's ranked 7th right now. Some would say should be ranked higher than that, with a phenomenal tailback in Jason Thompson that, by the way, lost to Knox West and Alcoa by a combined 7 points.
Yeah.
They will be taking on the Cleveland Blue Raiders, and boys, they have just come on. So what a game that will be next week.
That game will be an absolute treat.
A big matchup there, as they are just bare knuckle boxing for who's going to take 6A Region 1. Also tonight, we do need to mention Powell and our top 10. Stephen Souls, of course, there, and Kendall Thomas in the backfield. Connor Wheeler, what a player he's developed into. 140 yards per game right now for Powell. The other team that we want to mention, and we've struggled as a staff right now, what to do with Northview.
Boy,
they're 5-0, and it's almost an argument every week with us, what to do with Northview. They're 5-0, but they've really not played him. But that's going to change tonight against a pretty good Carter team.
Yeah, it's looking that way. We heard some of their players in some interviews after the games we've had with them say that they joke around and say that they're the worst undefeated team in the state. And that might be true. We might find that out tonight.
Let's also mention tonight some other good matchups. A pretty good one here tonight, of course. Oak Ridge will be at Knox Central. Anderson County, which seems to have righted the ship, will be at Clinton tonight. That should be a good matchup as well. Well, why don't we go ahead. First, we want to acknowledge our pre-game sponsor tonight, which is Clabough's Campground. Clabough's Campground, located in the beautiful Smoky Mountains in Pigeon Forge. We want to thank our pregame sponsor once again, Clabough's Campground. Why don't we go ahead and take a break at this point in time. We'll pay some bills. We get back. We'll break down this matchup tonight between these 3-3 Hardin Valley Hawks and the Sevier County Bears tonight.
Clabough's Campground and Cabins and Clabough's Market and Grill have been family-owned and operated since 1978. Clabough's Campground is spacious, with 320 sites including vacation homes and cabins. Great location for family reunions and large groups with entertainment on the weekends. Make reservations at Clabough's Campgrounds and Cabins, located on 405 Wears Valley Road, Pigeon Forge.
Where'd you get that grin? Right above your chin. Top of your day. With a smile at Andy's top of your day. With a smile at Andy's top of your day.
Bacon & Company is a family-owned and operated company that's been in Knoxville, Tennessee since 1925. Because we're a full-service operation, we have product design and development, printing, embroidery, sewing. We have fulfillment, warehousing, and then shipping, to our end user or customer. When someone comes into Bacon & Company, we want to fulfill their needs, what they want, and we'll do everything we can in our power to make sure that they leave happy.
At Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides our operations center a better understanding of where the affected areas are located and predicts probable starting points that helps our crews begin looking for the problem. Our whole goal is to get your power back on as soon as possible. We'll even call you back to make sure your service has been restored. At Sevier County Electric System, we want to take care of our customers, and that's what we do every day. Sevier County Electric System. We are the power behind our community. Just call 865-774-6300.
Where'd you get that grin? Right above your chin. Top of your day. With a smile at Andy's top of your day. With a smile at Andy's top of your day.
Clabough's Campground and Cabins and Clabough's Market and Grill have been family owned and operated since 1978. Clabough's Campground is spacious, with 320 sites including vacation homes and cabins. Great location for family reunions and large groups with entertainment on the weekends. Make reservations at Clabough's Campgrounds and Cabins, located on 405 Wears Valley Road, Pigeon Forge.
We'd ask you to bear with us for just a moment for the singing of the national anthem. Well, that was a strong rendition there of our national anthem by the Sevier County Choral Club right there to sort of kick us off as we stand 13 minutes from kickoff here tonight. We want to thank East Tennessee Spine, of course, for being our kickoff sponsor. Let's go ahead and break this matchup down a little bit tonight, as the Hardin Valley Hawks are just looking to get back on the winning track. As we talked about earlier, Harrison, won their first three, lost their last three. But when you play the schedule they have to play in 6A, it's tough week to week to kind of stand up to a Maryville, a Beard, and I mean, it never stops.
Yeah, it really seems like it never does. It's week in, week out. It's tough teams and tough games, and this week is no different. We talked about they're trying to find their footing a little bit offensively. That's kind of been where they've struggled against these good defenses that they've been playing as of late. So look for them to we talked about Caleb Standifer, the quarterback, dual threat. He's got an arm, but they prefer to run the ball a little bit more than they do to throw it, and that's going to be big for them tonight, as well as setting the line to facilitate that run. Because we've seen them. This is a really good Sevier County line. So yeah, it'll be key for them to establish dominance up front and let their skill guys do what they're good at, and stretch this defense out on the ground.
You know, you're talking about a pretty good-sized offensive line for those Hawks, led by the offensive tackle number 77, 6'3", 250 pounds. But you have Josh Lay, Neil Henley, Evan Clark, and Holt Lawrence. So that's a very good offensive line. And talking to Coach Miner this week, you know, he talked to me at points and times just the consistency with that group breaking down. You know, when Standifer has time and he's able to set up in the pocket, he throws the ball really, really well. But just keep in mind that Standifer is a first-year starter, so he's still, you know, in that phase of learning that offense, the intricacies of it, so he can run it real well. Outstanding tailback, and Braden Loveland, who, when you watch him on film, he's about as tough as a $2 steak.
Boy, is he! Yeah, he's one of those guys that he's not going to be taken down on first contact. He's a yards after contact type of guy. Keeps those legs moving, gets those extra yards, and he's a real asset for these Hawks.
You know, one of the other players that we'll play a lot of attention to tonight is Brady Hallgriff, who just plays several positions. Tall kid, very fast. He's got that twitch that you look for out of athletes and is able to cut very well. So he's sort of that player that may not lead in carries or receptions, but he's one of those guys that you want to get involved in the offense, much like Mason Ellis here, Malachi Pate, for the Bears.
Yeah, that's a really good comparison. He's, like you said, he's not going to be your team leader in one way or the other, but he is going to draw eyes from the defense over to one side of the ball or away from one side of the ball, and that's a really big asset for drawing up schemes and thinking of play calling, especially when you're running the ball. So that'll be really interesting to see how they use him tonight and the kind of game that he has.
Isaac Shelby is the leading receiver for these Hawks. Good athlete, very quick, very lean, explosive off of the line. Their Y is still a work in progress. Adam Blaylock will probably see some time in the slot tonight. You see Mikhail Hayes back there and some different players as the night goes on. We do want to mention tonight a couple things before we get started and talk a little bit about where Brandon's at tonight.
Yeah, Brandon Martin, our field reporter, is at the McCallie-Baylor game down in Chattanooga tonight. McCallie, excuse me. There's a lot of good athletes down there on both. On both teams. That's going to be a great matchup. And Brandon's going to do some great work and some great photos, some great interviews, and you can check all that out on our website and our social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Brandon does a great job on the Twitter. It's a great follow. So if you're not locked in with us there, make sure you are, because it's a great way to stay up to date with what's going on.
Now, before we turn the page and we talk about these Sevier County Bears, let's talk just a little bit about this Hawks defense that's given up some points lately. But they have skilled players over there, too. I'm thinking about their defensive end, Michael Stewart, 6'1", 220 pounds. Leading the team in sacks, I believe he's up to 9 right now. That kid's tough. He's got a big-time motor.
Yeah, he is. He's one of those guys that he makes the penetration. He'll get in the backfield, and he can really disrupt a play. And when you've got that asset against a big line like we talk about with Sevier County, that's going to be huge tonight.
Not only would be Michael Stewart, but also Aiden Turner and Rocco Pritchard as well would be on that line. It's going to be very important that those guys close these holes against Malachi Pate, who's a heck of a tailback. And the linebacking core for them. By the way, this Hawks team will play a 4-3, although it's much more like a 4-2 with an additional nickel that just roams. But with the linebacking core, you'll see Sam Mann, who very athletic, good hands on him, able to find and locate the ball, very good vision. And of course, the other linebacker on the other side, Tommy Joseph, 6'1", 193, make up a very good linebacking core. Our nickel, which we've already talked about, Nathan Holbrook, is a headhunter and likes to thump people. And then that secondary with Adam Blaylock, Todd Henderson, Pierce Palmer, and Brady Minor are going to have to keep their heads on a swivel tonight as this Sevier County Bears team likes to throw about as much as they pass.
Yeah, they do, but as you said, they've got some athletes back there, and they've got some guys that'll make some plays, so it should match up to provide some fireworks and some good plays.
Let's go ahead and we'll do our player of the week. We've not announced that. We want to go ahead and bring that up and give some love out, as we were in Gatlinburg-Pittman last week. And that was, as we're bringing it up, our production crew, was Luke Burkett, who just had a huge game last week. We want to thank Sharps Plaque Masters and Clabough's Campground for sponsoring Luke Burkett, our player of the game. We'll have that again tonight, so do stay with us through the post-game. Also, we'd ask for you to stay at halftime, as the Bears athletic director will be up here. We'll have a conversation with him, Brian Atchie. We're excited to see what this Sevier County team is doing and what they have on the long-term calendar. But as we break down the Smoky Bears, let's talk about Todd Loveday, third season, is really starting to make a difference in this program. And he's got a good up-and-coming freshman quarterback that's going to be the real deal.
Yeah, he really does. You can see in just his third season, he's really starting to make a difference up here for this Sevier County football team and the program. We talk about it every time we're up here. You walk in here, you walk into the stadium, you just feel the energy, and it's a great place to be, and Coach Loveday's had a big part in that.
Well, and speaking to Coach Loveday this week, I asked him, are there any reads, are there any progressions that concern you with Cooper Newman? And he said, with Cooper Newman, we have full confidence in him We let him make the choices. He's engaged in the progress, and the process, and he reads his route tree and his progressions very well, and picks up things very well. And he just talked about the maturity of Cooper Newman and not letting the moment get too big to him, get too big for him. And one of the things when you look at film on Cooper Newman that you really like is the fact that he gets the ball out of his hands so quick.
Yes, he does. He sure does, and maybe that's partly because he's a freshman. He doesn't want to take those big hits quite yet, but whatever it is, he gets the ball out fast and he gets it out accurate. And last time we were up here, he was our player of the game, and he had a great game then. He's got a really good, like you said, for a freshman, he's got a really good field vision and understanding of the game, and that's paramount for a young starter.
As you see up on the screen right now, Jeff Miner also in his third season as head coach, trying to get that Hardin Valley team turned around that struggled over the last couple of years. You know, we talk about Cooper Newman. Mason Ellis has made a big difference in that program. He's sort of that Swiss Army knife that understands the offense inside and out, and is one that you just have to get involved in the offense.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Harrison.
I was just going to build on your point of how crucial and influential he is to this offense. You said it just about as well as you can, but you know, if he's not having the game that he needs, then you know this team is going to struggle.
Malachi Pate will probably lead tonight in carries. Just a real good north to south kind of kid who's got a good feel and is difficult to take down. Brian Lindsay will be in there as well at tailback. Lots of times you'll see him in pass protection programs or schemes, but he'll also get to carry the ball. Three good receivers there for these Bears, Harrison, as we talk about Knox Kremlis, Byron Hedrock, Jude Costner, and Tyson Franklin.
Yeah, there's a really good receiving core to go with this really good young quarterback, and it helps, like we keep saying with a young quarterback, it helps when you have receivers that can get open and that can make the pass easier for that young quarterback. And not only that, but once when they're off the ball, they're team players. They'll block. They run good routes, and they're just a really impressive group.
Yep. Not a traditional tight end. You'll see Jude Costner in that role. Very athletic, one of the best players in this area as far as athletic ability, but more of that slot receiver, and he'll run those out routes into the flat, and he'll also run those inside angle slot routes as well over the middle of the field. So look for him to be involved tonight as well. We talk about that offense for these Bears. We also need to mention that line of scrimmage. Otto Van Ransburg and Noah Taylor Magaha. Offensive line is a difficult area to judge, but those two guys are about as good as it gets in this area.
Yeah, absolutely. They anchor this line, and they're really big for, like we talk about, like one of the keys for Hardin Valley is setting the tone, and you do that up front, and those guys certainly do it well for these Smoky Bears.
You know, one of the things too that you'll see as we move over toward defense and talk about defense, you'll see Costner also play that jack as they play that typical 4-2 defense, but they'll shift back and forth between 4-2 and 3-4. Good defensive line led by Aiden Kane, 6'8", 300 pounds.
Goodness, that's a big boy.
Yep, and spent a lot of time in the weight room to turn a lot of that fat into weight. And Coach Loveday just simply said, you know, Ron, he's hard to move. Also pay a lot of attention tonight to Jeremiah Booker. Good size on the line there. Nasty streak, and he almost has to be double teamed when he's on the line.
Yeah, with all the weapons that they've got on that line, you know, they all pack a punch, and when you put them together, they're nearly unstoppable.
By the way, Tyler Mann, exceptional in the linebacking core. 49 solo tackles so far this year, 13 assists, leaving the team right now with a 12.4 tackle per game average. Boy, he's put in the work this year too. Joey Gallazin. We'll see a lot of time on that weak side and a good secondary. These Falcons. Well, we are right up against it, Harrison.
Yep.
As we are right at a minute. Kind of give me what your expectations are tonight, Harrison, as we talk about these two teams.
Well, I expect Hardin Valley to come out and they're going to play they're going to play a smart game. They know that Sevier County is probably the better team here. They got to play mistake-free, and they got to play sound, hard, quality football. And on the other side of the ball, Sevier County's got to do the same thing in terms of execution, minimizing mistakes, and letting your good players make good plays. So I'm really interested to see how this game plays out, and really looking forward to it.
One of the things that Coach Loveday mentioned to me tonight was the freshman Tyler Mann and the difference that he's made. As Taylor Madison with your kickoff, fielded there at about the 18-yard line, looking for room and being brought down around the 28-yard line where your Hawks will take over.
Yeah, not a bad return on that. Obviously could have been better, could have been worse. So decent starting spot here, and let's see what these Hawks can do.
So Standiford will bring them out. Once again, that's a first down at Clabough's Campground first down, as we are just underway here. We also want to thank, of course, East Tennessee Spine that have sponsored our kickoffs this season. So Standiford will be in the backfield. I believe he has dual backs on both sides. Hayes is on one side of him. I believe Brady Loveland may be on the other side. Pitch out there. Pretty good hole as he's able to work down for a gain of, let's call it, Harrison, of about 4 yards. That's going to bring up second down and 6. Not a bad way, though, to open up for these Hawks.
No, absolutely not. Coming up to the line and changing that formation seemed to have some impact on the Smoky Bears as they were able to hold that contain on the right side and get a good few yards.
Tyler Mann there, as we talked about earlier, there on the tackle. Misdirection there, and that goes nowhere as the Bears are able to sneak that out. For your Hawks tonight on offense, Isaac Shelby at wide receiver, Mikhail Hayes at your other wide receiver in slot, Holgrove. Running back Brady Loveland, Caleb Standiford at quarterback. Tight end will be Brantley Abercrombie, and your offensive linemen including Lay, Henley, Clark, Lawrence, and Stamey. So that's going to bring up third down and mid, and we talk about this every week, how these early drives can really set the tone for a game.
Yeah, for sure. Good. A defense getting a 3 and out on the first drive of the game is always a huge momentum boost.
So a bit of a keeper looking for some space. Able to make a few miss, but has brought down there Mason Ellis and Jude Costner involved on that tackle. That's going to bring up fourth down and about 4 as we talk about that Sevier County lineup. A defense, Britton at tackle, nose guard Latavius Booker, Jackson Perry at defensive end, the jackbacker Jude Costner, weak side linebacker Gallazin, middle linebacker Tyler Mann, your Sam, Parker Newman, and then your secondary led by Malachi Pate, Hickman Ellis, and Bryson Hendrick, the sophomore. So I believe we just took a timeout right there, but we'll stay here.
Smoky Bears are having some substitution issues there on fourth down. I wasn't able to see who was coming on and who was coming off, but there was clearly some miscommunication there. And coaches never have to burn a timeout on the first drive of the game, especially for a substitution issue.
Well, one of the things that so this is going to be interesting. One of the things that Coach Miner has talked to me about is some of the kicking difficulties this team has had. So we'll see how this first kickoff goes tonight. As back for the, I'm trying to get a number right there, back for the Bears, can't quite make out a number, 41 there for the Hawks, and we'll try to get you a number. As the Bears are back deep to receive.
Good
punt, not bad at all. A little bit of space, we'll see how that goes. Oh, he's up the sideline. Good boy. Track from behind is number 35 there as I'm trying to find my roster.
Number 35, that'd be Samuel Mann for the Hawks there. Good return, decent return, but an even better tackle because that saved a lot more yards there if he didn't make that open field tackle down the sideline.
So that's going to bring up another Clabough's Campground first down. As Newman is in the back, waits for the pitch. Handoff there to Pate. Pate works all the way down. A gain of about 3 yards. It's going to set up second down and about 7. We talked about how this time has a tendency to sort of set the tone. Lots of times, too, these opening drives are two teams trying to feel each other out and trying to figure out where they can go exactly.
Absolutely. And that's a case of that right there, just running it straight up the gut and seeing where you need to attack later in the game.
Newman surveying the field, looking. Boy, that was a tight window, and he almost squeezed it in, but broken up there by Pierce Palmer.
Yeah, Palmer's big for this Hawks secondary. I was able to speak with him at Knox Media Day this year, and he's one of those kids that certainly got a good head on his shoulders, and that shows in his play.
I believe that was Franklin there on the attempted reception. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, Newman back. Once again, starting this game off in pass mode. Being pressured, but able to escape the pressure and just tucks the ball, gets what he can, and that's going to bring up 4th down and about 4. So that's going to give Coach Loveday an interesting call here, and he makes it very quickly as the punt team goes out.
Yeah, a good opening drive from both defenses here, and I don't disagree with the decision here to punt the ball. You saw what you needed to see on that first drive on offense and defense, so don't make anything harder than it needs to be, and get back out there and get to work.
So once again, we want to thank our sponsors this evening, including our pregame sponsor, Clabough's Campground. Madison back with a punt.
High punt.
Floating. Takes a bit of a for Sevier County, but then downed there by the Bears at about the 21-yard line. So, the Hawks coming out of the huddle with their second series. They're started off in this spread formation. 3 receivers out here to the left, and the halfback there off the edge of the tackle. Throws out into the flat. It's brought in. A little bit of room. Oh, he's got the open field. And let's see if he gets caught from behind. Oh, and cuts. But finally gets tripped up by Bryson Henry, but all the way down to the Bears' 26-yard line.
A great play there from the Hawks. An interesting formation. It looked like they had about 7 guys there packed in on the offensive line and 3 guys out wide. They were able to run a little screen pass like you see the Vols do sometimes, and the blocking was able to be set up, and once you miss that first tackle, you're out into open space, and wasn't able to beat the last man, but still a really good gain and some big momentum for these Hawks.
Big play, put your defense out here. 55-yard touchdown.
So standing for back deep once again, number 22 there, Brady Loveland there at that halfback position on the hinge. Oh gosh, dropped.
I don't know if that was dropped or if one took it out of the hands of another, not realizing they were on the same team. Either way, missed opportunity there that could have been, but still a great defensive play.
That bounced between 3 different players, and none of them, unfortunately, for the Bears could come up with it. Ooh. So that's going to bring up for these Hawks 2nd down and 10 as they stay in that single back formation with a receiver to the right and a receiver in motion. A little bit of space there. Keeps on grinding and moving. And boy, you know, here's the thing that we need to remember in this game that we can't forget. At the end of the day, this is still a 5A team playing up.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Sevier to a 6A team that has the numbers and players that look the role, by the way.
Yeah, for sure. And on that play, I mean, just showing you the strength of the running backs, the running back position for the Hawks, able to run it up the gut and push some bodies down and set up a much easier 3rd down than what could have been.
So, 3rd down and about 4 as we get down to the 7:30 mark. Open man is able to haul it in, thrown behind the receiver, but he's able to bring it in. Brady Hogarth there Great adjustment in midair to pull that in. That's going to give them a Clabough's Campground first down.
Absolutely, a great play there, and there were plenty of Hawks open on that play, but Stanford made the decision to go to Hogger there, and it paid off for a first down and a 1st and 12 here, or a 1st and 10 from the 12. Sniffing the end zone, that's just what you want to do if you're the Hawks.
So, good-looking drive so far.
It really is, yeah. All set off by that big play to open.
Big return right there. So Brady Hogerfer will stay there in that H-back position as Brady Abercrombie goes into motion, looking for space.
Flag is down the backfield.
Flag in the backfield in the area where you would expect holding.
You would think, yeah. Which is unfortunate because, like we just said, they're looking really promising to start this drive, and the last thing you'd want to do if you're Hardin Valley is go back 10 yards and retry.
Gallows in there and on the tackle to get him out of bounds. But we've done this quite a bit, Harrison, and we've seen this before with teams that tend to struggle a little bit. Is these penalties can just kill you.
Yeah, that's it's a theme in a lot of high school games, but it's certainly something you can do if you're Hardin Valley tonight against a good Sevier County team. And the flag actually ended up being an illegal motion, not a holding, so they'll only go back 5 yards instead of 10, which is a bit of a silver lining there.
We talked about this Hawks team, how the last several weeks, now once again, top contenders there out of 6A, but they've had such a difficult time getting their offense going. So to see this has got to be a good sign for Coach Miner. Hogerfield's in motion, and he slices through that defensive line, is able to get in the linebacking core before he's brought down by Tyler Mann and Jackson Perry there. And that's going to bring up third and very long.
Yeah, that's this is a big third down. We talk about early drives, and especially this drive here with all the promise that you've shown, moving the ball down the field, you'd like to see a little bit come from it.
Oh, catch that. I said.
Oh, correct. Yeah.
I said third down. It's actually second down and about 12. Stanford rolling out to his left, looking. Oh, wow. Picked off there by the Bears. In the secondary, there's Malachi Payton. He's working down the field. Bryson Hendrick, and he moves that all the way out to the Bears' 37-yard line. Just not a great decision there by Stanford.
No, it wasn't, and it looked like there might have been some miscommunication with the receiver there. It seemed like Stanford was trying to throw that ball to the pylon, which is right where the defender Hedrick was, and a good return there, making some guys miss and getting some good starting field position for the Smoky Bears.
I think what you saw right there, and I believe that was Shelby actually who was in the receiver, he was up in that flat, and he was open, and he just simply overthrew him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Into the open arms of Bryson Hendrick, who makes a good return. So now Malachi Pate's got some room, and he's able to move that all the way down to the Bears' 41-yard line, which is going to set them up with second down and about 3.
Yeah, and this is a Sevier County team. When teams like this on a second and short, they're really dangerous because they have the ability to take a shot here, knowing that that 3rd and 3 is not going to be too terribly hard.
Once again, strong offensive line led by Rensenberg and Noah Taylor. Good little cut move right there as Pate is able to, I think we're waiting for a first down, but boy, it's right at the marker.
Yeah, it's looking, they're moving.
They are moving the chain, so that's going to bring up a Clabough's Campground first down for the Bears. Let's give some additional love to our offensive line. Cunningham there at center, Green at right guard, and right tackle is Haynes. And talking to Loveday, he basically said we go as this line goes.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are really influential to this team. And
Newman Bass got a player out in the flat. Costner makes a move, able to keep his balance, and works all the way down to the 47-yard line as they approach Hawks territory.
Yeah, just a good little pass out to the flat there, and nearly able to make a guy miss, but still good job to get a couple extra yards after that first contact.
So the spread offense as they go into a 4-receiver split. As we talked about earlier, Jude Costner, not the typical tight end. He'll be in that slot, not so much off the line. But they will spread these Hawks thin. Out to the pass. Nick Krimlish, I believe. No, that's actually Tyson Franklin. And boy, he is popped by Michael Stewart.
Yeah, he is. The second he got the ball, he was hit by Stewart, and that's a great play to force a 3rd and 7 or 3rd and 6, pardon me, that really big play to keep these Smoky Bears on their toes, because once these Bears get rolling, they're hard to stop.
Yep. That was one of the key issues that we talked to Minor this week about, was just that defensive line led by Stewart and Turner and Pritchard being able to get some pressure on Cooper Newman and not leaving him back there all day long. This time he rolls out to the strong side of the field, looking, and is just pushed out of bounds by Michael Stewart. We've talked about him leading the teams in sacks. Once again, he gets another one.
And he broke through a double team there. They nearly held him long enough for Newman to get that ball out or get down or something, but not long enough as he's able to come in and get his 10th sack of the year.
And, I got to say, I know it's early in the game, 3 minutes left here in the first period, but this Bears offense looks a little out of rhythm.
It does. They don't look like the Bears we're used to seeing, but like you said, it's still early, so I'm intrigued to see what they're able to get going later.
So Madison back, almost blocked.
Off the foot of Madison.
And we'll see good roll here.
Another good punt.
Yep. And Madison and Coach Loveday talked about the weapon that Madison has turned into, and we saw that right there as he flipped the field. Once again, no scores here as we go under 3 minutes here in this first period. So once again, these Bears will bring that defense out, that defensive line there. Give some love out to the big man Jeremiah Brenton up there at defensive end. But good march by the Hawks last time, simply stopped by that turnover by Stanford. We'll see how this series goes. Handoff there, and it goes not much of anywhere. That almost looked like an isolation play, but no one picked up that linebacker as he was able to shoot back. And boy, Tyler Mann's been all over the field early tonight.
He really has. It seems like he's been in on every tackle, and on that play he was able to fill the hole. No one got on him, and nothing able to get going for Hardin Valley on that first play. I'll be interested to see if they what play calls they go with here. We've seen them have success in the air and on the ground. I'm curious to see where they feel strongest themselves.
Well, we talked about earlier in the game the threat that Standifer is if he's given time. He rolls out to his left, looking. Pressure there by number 21, but lost contain on the backside, and Standifer's able to use his legs and work all the way out to the Hawks' 39-yard line.
Yeah, really good roll out there, really good awareness. For the most part, the blocking was really good on that, but that left end was able to sneak in and disrupt that pocket. But we talk about Stanford and those good legs, able to pick up a quick 13 for a good first down. That was
Jude Costner in the backfield, and I thought he had him dead to rights.
Absolutely, yeah. The entire play was moving toward that left side, and somehow he didn't get a body on him and unable to make the play.
That's the second time we've seen that so far, Harrison, where the Bears have lost containment. So quick handoff once again, a bit of a hole this time as he's able to work all the way into the linebacking core, and that's going to be a quick pickup of about 6 yards.
Yeah, that's a good hard run on first down there, straight up the middle. He was hit, if not right at the line, a yard or two after it, and able to keep his legs churning and bring some guys with him and pick up a couple extra to set up a second and short, a big second and short.
So Noah Wyrick will come in at the jackbacker as Tyler Mann comes off the field, and that's going to bring up, as we said, a 2nd down and 3 from the Bears' 43-yard line. And boy, this first period's ticking away quick.
It really is. With this running offense of Hardin Valley, as you see it here again, and no gain there.
Good, yeah. Great tackle there from behind. They're up.
It's interesting because we talked at the beginning of this drive. They've had success and they've been stopped on all the plays that they've run. So on this drive, they seem to favor going up the middle, and they've had success with it. On that time, they try and bounce it out, and then the Bears keep their contain, and on that time, able to make the tackle for no gain.
Newman comes in for the Bears there as on the last play, Costner was able to track him from behind for the tackle. Just power football, and I don't know that he got it, Harrison. I think he was stood up.
Yeah, I do. I think he was. That's an interesting spot. I don't know if I necessarily agree with this spot.
Boy, that is generous and then some.
Yeah, I don't.
Unless he simply rolled off there, because he looked like he was stood up, and maybe he just was able to budge himself forward But what that's going to do, regardless, is that's going to bring an end to this defensive struggle here in the first period. With your score still knotted as zeros up on the board, we're going to go ahead and take a break and pay some bills and mention all these sponsors. But stay with us here as we continue in this football game. Once again, this is Ron Marvel for Harrison Public and your high school sports.
Clabough's Campground and Cabins and Clabough's Market and Grill have been family-owned and operated since 1978. Clabough's Campground is spacious, with 320 sites including vacation homes and cabins. Great location for family reunions and large groups with entertainment on the weekends. Make reservations at Clabough's Campgrounds and Cabins, located on 405 Wears Valley Road, Pigeon Forge.
Where'd you get that grin? Right above your chin. Top your day with a smile at Andy's. Top your day with a smile at Andy's. Top your day.
Bacon & Company is a family-owned and operated company that's been in Knoxville, Tennessee since 1925. Because we're a full-service operation, we have product design and development, printing, embroidery, sewing. We have fulfillment, warehousing, and then shipping, to our end user or customer. When someone comes into Bacon & Company, we want to fulfill their needs, what they want, and we'll do everything we can in our power to make sure that they leave happy.
At Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides our operations center a better understanding of where the affected areas are located and predicts probable starting points that helps our crews begin looking for the problem. Our whole goal is to get your power back on as soon as possible. We'll even call you back to make sure your service has been restored. At Sevier County Electric System, we want to take care of our customers, and that's what we do every day. Sevier County Electric System. We are the power behind our community. Just call 865-774-6300.
Where'd you get that grin? Right above your chin. Top your day with a smile at Andy's. Top your day with a smile at Andy's. Top your day.
Clabough's Campground and Cabins and Clabough's Market and Grill have been family-owned and operated since 1978. Clabough's Campground is spacious, with 320 sites including vacation homes and cabins. Great location for family reunions and large groups with entertainment on the weekends. Make reservations at Clabough's Campgrounds and Cabins, located on 405 Wears Valley Road, Pigeon Forge.
And we're back, and boy, I'm sure you were watching at home, but boy, we missed a lot. And we'll talk about and break it down in just a minute as they go to this unusual, you don't see it very often, what they used to call a skater package with Ellis back, and Ellis is going to get tackled. No, he breaks the tackle and is rolling out. Oh! And, oh my gosh! Basil, and then some.
And
as the right guard, Green, turns around and the ball floats in his belly off that gator package, and he's able to walk into the end zone for a 2-point conversion.
Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, Ron, but
oh, come on, not a flag. When you see a play like that, you want it to stand.
Yeah, that's a shame. That would have been the 3 craziest plays in succession I've seen in a while.
So that's going to take those 2 points off the board. But let's talk about what happened while we were on break. Once again, Standifer marching down the field. Once again, an interception there by Bryson Hendrick out in the flat. And by the way, Bryson Hendrick, we were just told by Sevier County staff, as a sophomore, has broken the record for the most interceptions as a sophomore halfway in it. You can talk about a ball-hawking corner.
Absolutely. You can see from the 2 interceptions he has tonight, he is an absolute ball hawk, like you said. The ability to high point the ball and make the catch, and then after the catch make people miss is he's a real asset to that secondary, and he's going to be good for years to come.
And you know, one of the things I think you see right there out of Bryson Hendrick that makes him so special is just that closing speed.
Yeah, he's once he gets down the sideline, he's zooming.
Yeah. So I believe that's Ta Henderson that's back deep for the Hawks, and we'll see what kind of response now that these Hawks will come up with after the Sevier County Utility District touchdown. They're off the Hedrick return. Madison with the kick. High pooch kick towards the corner. Hardin Valley takes it to 14, gets some space, and pretty good return as he's able to move it all the way out to the Hawks' 35-yard line. You know, I always struggle with that, Harrison, and I'll tell you why. When you got a kid like Max Taylor, I don't know why you just don't tell him to kick to the end zone every single time. Because he's got the legs.
That's a good point, especially when you get a return like that.
I just don't know if your special teams coach sees something where he thinks he can corner him deep and sort of pin them back right there. But regardless, what that's going to do is he's going to bring up a Clabough's Campground first down as Standifer comes back out with his team and single tailback. Sort of the fake handoff there off the jet sweep. And your tailback there, number 13, Holgriff, is able to, let's see, gosh, it's, I guess about 2 yards right there. Is going to bring up second down and 8 as we are at the 9-minute and 52nd minute mark here of the second period. Once again, we want to encourage everyone to stay with us at the half. Brian Ashley, athletic director for the Sevier County Smoky Bears, will be in with us to talk about what an athletic director does and about the tradition here in Sevier County. Once again, fake off, handoff, and he's got space. He's at the 25, 20, 10, cuts back, and is going to be brought down at the 4-yard line. We've seen this Hawks team be able to move the football, but you've got to take care of it once you get in scoring position.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where they've been making mistakes all year long, and hopefully they don't do it again here, because that was an absolutely great play that time by Hogarth again. And there for the Smoky Bears, you saw number 1, Hedrick and Pate closing in, saving a touchdown there. The skill and the speed of those two guys saved that touchdown and giving them a shot here to make these Hawks make another mistake. And we'll see what happens here. Hopefully they can
got to give some love too. Sorry, got to give some love to Henley and Clark right there to open up those holes. Hayes is not much there as they're able to close that pretty quickly down as they were trying to run off of that C gap, but just not much there.
No, not much there, but you know, that's what they're looking for. They're looking to pound it because like the play before that one, when you can create holes, those plays can be extremely explosive with the athletes that you've got. Pair that with the misdirection that they've shown early on some plays in this drive. They can be really dangerous, especially this close to the end zone.
So after that big run, it's going to bring up second down and goal here for these Hawks. As the keeper just sort of bouncing out to the outside, looking for rooms, got some room, and is able to, let's see the indication, and there is touchdown.
What a play there, not only to get to the outside and make the men miss to get to the end zone, but to contort his body to get to the ball inside the pylon. That is some pure athleticism there to even the game up. What a play.
And, you know, I understand aggression here, but what we've seen out of these Bears, once again, is getting sucked in and not be able to keep contained.
Yeah, absolutely. And that play, it looked like it was a design quarterback run to the outside, and it looked like they had the men out there, but Standifer able to make some guys miss and get in for 6.
So what that's going to do after the Holbrook extra point is that's going to put the Hawks up 7-6 with just 8 minutes and 25 seconds left here in this second period. Are you going in this game, you had to feel like the Bears were a bit of a favorite.
Yeah.
But so far, this game has been tight.
It sure has. And, I mean, they're 3-3, but like we talked about in the pregame, those 3 losses were against really good teams.
Bearden and Maryville, to just name a couple. And
so I'm not surprised at all to see them come out and play well. I'm a little bit surprised that it's this close, but, not shocked because we know that the abilities that this team has across the field.
So after that touchdown there by Standifer, that's going to bring them back out.
It's going to bring out another kickoff here. As Smoky Bears are going to put 2 deep. We'll see if the Hawks are going to kick it deep. We've seen Sevier County go with a little bit of that pooch kick a couple times early here. But we'll see what they do here. As we know, some dangerous athletes there back to return for the Smoky Bears. Special teams we've seen has played a really big part in moving the field, and that's a good kick there. That's gonna be.
That is a good kick. We've had those long conversations with Coach Miner about some of the kicking woes that they've had this year, but they've looked tight so far.
Yeah, they sure have. They've looked solid on special teams, and in a game that's as tight as this, that might come down. It might come down to the kicker.
So that's going to bring up after the East Tennessee Spine kickoff as Cooper Newman trots back onto the field. That's going to put the ball at the 20-yard line of the Bears as they're looking to answer that score there by the Hawks. Newman back, a handoff there to Pate. Pate, weaving and bobbing, is able to pick up about 5 yards there for the Bears.
Yeah, it's a good solid run on first down, trying to get to the outside, and wasn't able to break it outside, but able to stay behind his blockers and make a 2nd and 6 a little bit easier.
So, you have to you at least have to ask the question right now, what would the score be right now if Standifer hadn't thrown the 2 picks?
Absolutely. I mean, 2 drive killers.
So good run there, close to the first down. Let's see where they officially mark that football. It's going to be just about a yard short if I'm looking at the referee's right foot mark there. So that is going to bring up 2nd down, and it looks like a short or 3rd down and a short yard. And we'll see what kind of push this offensive line can get for the Bears right here as they go to the halfback and the tailback, as Cooper Newman has 3 receivers set. Just a simple handoff. And I think he's able to move the legs just enough to get the first down.
Just enough. He was hit hard at the line, but able to stay lean forward and get that first down. That's a big play here late, or through the middle of the second quarter.
So that will give us a Clabough's Campground first down. As your 3 receiver set goes to the far side of the field, which is Franklin and Kremlis and Costner there in the slot, and a single receiver up top. Looking, Cooper shakes off the wide receiver, able to, and there's an interception. Boy, we've talked about him in the pregame as well there, as Tommy Joseph's able to high point the ball, bring it down, and these Hawks give these Bears a little taste of their own medicine there with the pick.
They sure do, and that was a great play. A great play by Joseph to high point that ball and make the pick. A curious play, though. Newman had plenty of time up until right before he threw the ball. That late pressure might have caused that errant decision to throw it right over the middle, right into the hands of Joseph.
Yeah. And, I think that pass just got away from him a little bit there, Harrison. I think he had space there to hit him. He just led the receiver to his opposite side shoulder, and you want that on the inside shoulder.
Yeah, and that's what good pressure does.
So Standifer hands off to Hayes, and Hayes is able to pick up about 3. Let's see, the spot right here. Gosh, only gives him about a yard, so that's going to bring up 2nd down and 9 after Clabough's Campground. 1st down, that clock continues to tick here with the Hawks nursing that 1-point lead, 7-6 as we stand here. Got about 6 minutes here in the second period. We will be sharing scores with you tonight, so do stay tuned with us on that. So Standifer brings the line up, and we'll go with the slot. Once again, the halfback and 2 receivers set. Then on the back, snap over his head. Just got to get on it if you're a quarterback, and Standifer does just that as the Bears are able to get back and tack him down. Number 6 there, Newman, the first one to make contact with him. But that's a big loss. That's going to bring up 3rd down and a country mile.
Yeah, that's not good. That's, you have those mistakes when you're playing at this level. And an interesting formation there. The first time we've seen Standifer alone in the backfield, and I don't know if that caused the issue or what caused the issue, but the snap wasn't anywhere near, and just lucky to get back on that ball and not turn it over.
So Hayes goes into motion. A little handoff inside, and just a very safe play right there, but still able to pick up significant yards there as Gallison's able to bring him down, and a slew of other Bears. I think Sladen Hickman was also involved on that play as he was able to work into the secondary. So, but that's going to bring up 4th down, and about 20 yards, we'll say, as the Bears go back deep. Hendrick will be back to receive.
An opportunity here for Hardin Valley to pin them deep.
Yep. And let's see what kind of kick. Not a bad punt. Not a bad punt right there at all.
A really good kick, just an unfortunate bounce. It bounced. It took a Sevier County bounce, but still starting at the 15 or make that the 17. That's good starting field position for the Hawks defense.
So the net of that right there was just a 30-yard punt, but it does its job, as you just said just a minute ago, partner. Not quite the bounce you were looking for, but still an effective punt.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a long field, but as we've seen already tonight, we've seen in the past, these Smoky Bears can score quickly.
Yes.
So 4 minutes and 22 seconds is plenty of time.
Still looking for this Bears offense, to get some type of rhythm going. Handoff there to Pate. Pate sort of weaves and bobs, keeps his legs moving, is able to pick up about, depending on that spot, able to pick up about 4 yards. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 6 after the Clabough's Campground. 1st down, as we have worked under 4 minutes here before the half.
Yeah, and whether or not they score on this drive, I can tell you the Smoky Bears are going to take as much time as they can to let this drive play out. Getting the ball to start the second half puts them in a great spot. So
2-back set. As Newman's able to hit his receiver Costner out in the open field. Costner is able to find a little bit of room there, works the ball all the way down to the 27-yard line. And that's going to bring up, 3rd down and short. And let's see what Coach Loveday dials up here. I wouldn't be surprised with a good athletic quarterback if you don't see a quick snap here. Simple handoff. Finds a big hole. Man, completely missed. It's worked all the way down to the 50-yard line. It's still going, still moving legs. Takes it all the way down to the Hawks 38. And there's such a thing as making a man miss, and then there's what we just saw.
He made all 11 men miss. It starts at the line with the hole the size of the Mississippi River, and when you're as skilled as he is, that play was beautiful. Making guys miss, showing off that speed. Great play and a huge play at this point in the game.
I'm not sure who the linebacker there was for the Hawks, but boy, he was seeing shadows. So once again, good move there by Pate as he's able to pick up about 4 yards on that Clabough's Campground 1st down. And now what that does for the Bears now is it makes them a little more aggressive, and you can open up the play ball quite a bit more.
Absolutely. With only 42 yards to go in 2.5 minutes, the clock is the least of your worries. You work on a 2-minute drill, 2-minute offense, and most of the time that's a 70, 80-yard drive. So 40 yards is nothing. The biggest thing here is holding on to the football and getting into the end zone, and if you can't, close enough for 3.
And just as a reminder, the Bears do have all 3 of those timeouts. once again, they stick to the ground. And another good pickup there. As your tailback's able to keep his feet moving, that's going to bring us another Claybough Campground first down for Sevier County as we go under 2 minutes here before the break.
Yeah, and the Smoky Bears just continue to grind down this field. You mentioned earlier that they haven't found really a rhythm yet, but I think they're starting to.
Yes, I think so too. Inside handoff there again. Not much there that time as they're able to close down pretty quickly right there as Malachi Pate, who's been busy tonight, is able to pick up about 3 yards, bringing up second down and about 7. As we go under a minute and a half, and time has not yet become a factor, but if you're the Bears, you want to see a little bit of a giddy up here to some extent.
Yeah, you would like to. I mean, ticking down here a minute 10, you're close, but you're not in the red zone yet. So
yeah.
you would like to get a little bit closer before you start taking your time like this.
So Twins left. Newman looking. He's got a man open. That is complete and all the way down to the 10-yard line. Let's see if that's actually going to be a first and goal. I do not believe it. I believe it's just short of first and goal as we go under a minute here. Great pass there by Newman. And
absolutely. Taking his time over the middle, making the smart play across the middle, and
inside handoff there as Pate continues to move the legs and then is pushed forward. The ball looks like it popped out, but no, Pate must have been down there on contact. This is not, by the way, and I think it's important to note as the Bears take their first time out, this is not first and goal. They can actually get the first down here.
Correct, yes. There's about a yard and a half between the first down line and the end zone. So 39 seconds, 2 timeouts left. You've got a lot of options. You know, you've got up to 7 more plays if you want them or need them. So the ball is definitely in the Smoky Bears' court, and as we mentioned, you know, they're building this momentum. If they can punch this into the end zone, they're going to feel really strong going into the locker room, and I'm certain that'll carry into the second half.
Well, you know, we deal with this each week. We always talk about that 1-and-1, where a team goes in before the half, they're able to put points on the board, and then they receive the ball to start the half off of, and that would be the case here for these Bears. So to punch this in right here could be potentially huge.
It could be huge because, like you said, it's to go into the locker room with a touchdown gives you so much momentum, and then to use that momentum to score another, it really feels like a dagger to the chest for the opposition. So if the Smoky Bears are able to do that, their chances of sealing the deal here are going to be pretty good, but still down 1, they've got work to do.
So after the Clabough Campground first down, that's going to bring up second down and 7 after the short Pate run. Ellis, who's in Wildcat, just simply takes the ball and just keeps moving. And I don't know that anybody laid a hand on him.
No one was close to tackling him, but straight up the middle. It looked like an option play there, and he said, "I'll do it." Straight in. One of the easier runs you'll see.
Henderson and Palmer were back there for the Hawks, but he was on them so quickly.
Yeah.
I don't even think they had time to adjust in the secondary.
I don't think they knew he was coming until he'd scored.
So they will, of course, go for 2 points here as Ellis stays back in the shotgun. And, oh, what's our call here? I believe that's incomplete, just off the hands of Kremlis. Now, just as a reminder, because you were here with us last year as well, Harrison, Ellis has run a lot of quarterback before.
Yes, he has.
This isn't his first rodeo.
No, it's not. He's comfortable under center, and he's comfortable throwing the ball. Not the best pitch and catch there. Hit him in the hands, but unable to come down with the grab. But either way, you know, just showing that he can be very, very versatile for the Smoky Bear team is very promising.
And, you know, it's just one of those cases where you want the ball in an athlete's hand. This is an athlete, Mason Ellis, by the way, who's getting not only looks from D2 schools, but has also had some pretty big offers in baseball as well.
Yeah, you see a lot of that nowadays with dual sport athletes. A lot of coaches are they're wanting their players to be whole-rounded athletes, and Mason Ellis is a great example of that. You know, on the football field and on the diamond. You know, those those kind of guys are real assets because, like you said, you get in a situation like this where you want the ball in an athlete's hand, and to have an athlete of that caliber on standby is just so helpful.
Let me just remind everyone to keep up with what's happening around the area with Your High School Sports Break with Roddy on yourhighschoolsports.com and the Facebook page, and also tune into the East Tennessee Coaches Show each week with Roddy, where you get your podcast, and also on yourhighschoolsports.com. And always remember to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and our Instagram. As Madison kicks off, the dribbler goes all the way down, mishandled there, but picked up as Edwards looks for space and gets able to move his legs all the way down to the 36-yard line, 37-yard line. It's going to give these Hawks pretty decent field position with 23 seconds left and 2 timeouts. How aggressive do you get here if you're the Hawks?
Obviously with Stanford having multiple picks in this game already, you don't want to be too risky in the air and turn that 1-and-1 into a 2-and-1. But, with 2 timeouts and time and the ability to get down the field quick, I think you show something aggressive with maybe one of those misdirection, complex blocking scheme plays that we saw them start the last drive out with. They've had success there, so if they're going to be aggressive, I'd go back to that.
Yeah. In motion there as they got almost a screen there to the tailback, but that's shut down very quickly there as they do that quick handoff to Hayes, but just to pick up about 3 yards, and that will probably in all likelihood bring us to our half.
Yeah, that's a smart decision there for the Hawks. Just get into the locker room, regroup, and find out where you need to shore up for the second half against a really good Sevier County team that's not showing their best stuff tonight.
So once again, that's going to bring us to the half, and your score there at the halftime is Sevier County 12 and the Hawks 7, and this bit of a defensive struggle. Hey, stay tuned with us. Once again, we'll be bringing the athletic director from Sevier County onto the show, and we will also be bringing you scores from the area. Once again, your score here at the half, Sevier County 12, Hardin Valley 7. Stay tuned with us. We'll be back shortly after this break.
Clabough's Campground and Cabins and Clabough's Market and Grill have been family-owned and operated since 1978. Clabough's Campground is spacious, with 320 sites including vacation homes and cabins. Great location for family reunions and large groups with entertainment on the weekends. Make reservations at Clabough's Campgrounds and Cabins, located on 405 Wears Valley Road, Pigeon Forge.
Where'd you get that grin? Right above your chin. Top your day. With a smile at Andy's top your day. With a smile at Andy's top your day.
Bacon & Company is a family-owned and operated company that's been in Knoxville, Tennessee since 1925. Because we're a full-service operation, we have product design and development, printing, embroidery, sewing. We have fulfillment, warehousing, and then shipping, to our end user or customer. When someone comes into Bacon & Company, we want to fulfill their needs, what they want, and we'll do everything we can in our power to make sure that they leave happy.
At Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides our operations center a better understanding of where the affected areas are located and predicts probable starting points that helps our crews begin looking for the problem. Our whole goal is to get your power back on as soon as possible. We'll even call you back to make sure your service has been restored. At Sevier County Electric System, we want to take care of our customers, and that's what we do every day. Sevier County Electric System. We are the power behind our community. Just call 865-774-6300.
Where'd you get that grin? Right above your chin. Top your day. With a smile at Andy's top your day. With a smile at Andy's top your day.
Clabough's Campground and Cabins and Clabough's Market and Grill have been family-owned and operated since 1978. Clabough's Campground is spacious, with 320 sites including vacation homes and cabins. Great location for family reunions and large groups with entertainment on the weekends. Make reservations at Clabough's Campgrounds and Cabins, located on 405 Wears Valley Road, Pigeon Forge.
Well, we are back, and let me give you just a scoring summary so far. Really no 4 scores there in the first quarter, but Hendrick right there with the big pick right there. And joining me, we're so glad you're here.
Thanks, sir.
The athletic director, and let me get this name correct, Brian Ashley.
Hey, very good. Yes, sir.
Hendrick right there with the big pick. And talk to me a little bit about what you see out of that kid. I mean, he's a sophomore, and he's already got the career. He's set the career for picks already.
Tonight, yeah. He's a sophomore. Last year as a freshman, kind of getting his feet wet, started at corner, played a little receiver, was actually the starting point guard on our state tournament basketball team, went to the state track meet and 2 relays, and it's just really blossomed this year. Quiet kid, doesn't say a whole lot. You wouldn't even know he's around, honestly. But just a really, just like I said, it's and the thing gets me is that people keep throwing at him. You think it, you know.
You learn.
I mean, it's game 6 and he's got 9 picks.
And you know, and boy, one thing I've seen out of Newman, and Coach Loveday and I talked a lot about this, and the trust level he has with that kid.
Very much.
Boy, he can carry out his fakes well. That little pump fake, he right there froze the corner there on contain, and then hits that nice pass to Franklin.
He made a play two weeks ago against Tennessee High. We were up 21-7. They had moved the ball a little bit. We were coming down, going toward the scoreboard, and we were throwing a screen pass to Malachi, and 4 or 5 guys were bearing down, and he's giving, never panic, never. Right moment, dumps it over their head. Pate walks in the end zone. And I remember telling the coaches after the game in the locker room, that kid is as cool as a cucumber. I mean, nothing bothered him.
One of the things you and I were just talking about this just a moment ago. You've got some athletes that are going to be moving on, but boy, you've got a core of young kids that are going to be here for a while.
We have got some freshmen and sophomores that are going to be here for the next 2 or 3 years, and then our middle school team right now is going down tomorrow to Cleveland to play for the middle school championship. Our middle school beat Maryville this year 32-0. So we've got a lot of talent in the middle school level coming up. I think it's going to be real exciting around here.
So unfortunately there, Newman with a pick of his own sets up the Hawks with a short field. Stanford's able to twist and turn his body to get a 6-yard touchdown run at about the midpoint of the second period. But so important for these Bears. Mason Ellis just simply shoots straight up the middle and gets into their secondary and almost catches them asleep. And we always talk about in football the one-on-one where you get that score to end the first half and then set yourself up. And these Bears are going to be receiving the ball.
And that's what I said. I thought if we could get a lead and get to open the kickoff, start the second half, and get a 2-score lead, it's going to be tough for Hardin Valley because the offense they run, no doubt they can score 2 touchdowns, no doubt.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to open it up maybe a little bit, you know, and then do something more out of their element. But they got a really nice team, and it's going to be a great second half.
Well, you know, Coach, I've never seen an athletic director, and I did that on purpose. I've never seen an athletic director that hasn't coached something at some point in time in his history, and I'm sure you're the same way.
Oh, this is actually the first time, the last couple of years, first time I've not coached. I've been coaching football here for 30 years. And I actually coached soccer for 11 years here.
Oh, wow.
Coached baseball for a couple of years. I've kind of done it all around here.
Well, you're not a small school by any stretch of imagination, but I've I coached at Elizabeth for a long time with a legend up there by the name of Dave Ryder.
I know Mr. Ryder very well.
And he always used to brag, Ron, in my day we coached 3 sports at the same time.
Oh yeah.
And you almost sound like yourself in that position. You know, one of the things that we can appreciate on the field is the athletic ability of Mason Ellis. And talk to me a little bit about that kid.
Just a great kid. I've known Mason. He's of course Coach Loveday's stepson. I've known Mason since he's been a little kid, known the family. Just one of the hardest working kids you'll ever find. Hard nosed, would be willing to stick his nose in there anywhere. You know, last year we moved him to quarterback for the last 5 or 6 games and did a phenomenal job for us. Just one, just a kid that you would take with you any day on the football field.
That's one of the things that we just talked about just a moment ago. Is that almost what we used to call back in the '90s that Wildcat?
That's what I was about to say.
When Mason comes out, he's got that ability, and you don't lose anything at quarterback.
No, not a thing. Now he's not going to throw the ball the way Newman does or anything, but he has that extra element of running the ball, and he can be dangerous.
So, Brian, talk to me just for a minute, because we always talk about this, and I don't know the average person really knows from week to week what an athletic director does. Talk to me a little bit about your job responsibilities and what it is that you do here at Sevier County, because you have been involved in this program, went to school here. You've been involved, and your family's been involved with Sevier County for a very long time.
My grandmother taught school here. There's a plaque down here.
Yep, I saw it.
A plaque down there that's she taught here for 30-something years. My dad and his 2 brothers before him played quarterback here back in the 60s. My uncles played here in the 70s, and then I played here, of course, in the late 80s. And went off to ETSU for a couple of years, but then came back to UT. When I was at UT, I started volunteer coaching. That was 1992. Steve Brewer's first year. He's in the house tonight. And just hadn't left. Just loved this place. Had some opportunities, but just never felt the Lord leading me to leave.
Yeah.
And people say I bleed purple. There's no doubt. I mean, if you walk out there in front of our field house, there's a purple Jeep. That's mine. I just love this school. But what I do on a daily basis, it depends. It varies. Today I started at 11:30, and I'll be done about 11:30 tonight. It's a good 12-hour day. I may pick up trash. I may put out pylons. I may get out. I mean, there's no telling. I mean, there's a lot of things that goes into it. But I love it because I love the kids. That's what people ask me. I realize they say you love it, but why? I said, no, I love the kids. When I see the success the kids have, not just here, but at a cross-country meet or a soccer game or a bowling match for that matter, I just want to see our kids have the most success, and I'm going to try to do everything I can to make that happen.
Well, I've been on your website. You've got a wide spectrum of sports here. And
we're 16 sports.
You've got your finger touching on about every single one of them, and you want to, I know football brings money. Everybody knows that. But, you want to get these kids.
My star quarterback is going to get the same attention and love as my second-string outfielder or my backup goalie because they all deserve it because they're all Bears. We're all Smoky Bears.
Talk to me a little bit about the administrative side of that, because that's the side when it comes to athletic directors nobody wants to talk about.
Just a lot of paperwork, more than anything, phone calls, text, emails, just having to answer a lot. People needing this, wanting this. What are you doing here? What's going on here? Just a whole lot that goes into it. And I also, like we talked about earlier, I teach 2 classes in the morning, and then my day begins around 11:30. And a lot of times that just could be answering my emails from earlier in the day, or texts that might have come in, or different things, and just trying to make sure that everything runs smooth.
Now, Brian, do you ever get involved in the recruiting process as well with these kids to help out?
A little bit. I try to let my coaches handle that.
Yeah.
We've got some great guys here. Todd does a great job. Casey Taylor, our baseball coach, our basketball coaches, they do a great job of getting our kids out there to see that. So, I help when needed, but no, I can't let those guys handle that in. I don't want to micromanage. That's one thing I told all my coaches. I'll never micromanage you. I'm going to let you do your job.
Well, talk to me a little bit, because he's such a great guy. And, we're so blessed in Sevier County to have some excellent coaches.
Oh, yes.
Just some great coaches. But, talk to me a little bit about Coach Loveday, because he's one of those coaches, if I've ever got any questions, it's, hey, call me now. I'm ready to talk. And he loves talking the game, too, by the way.
Todd and I go back. We actually went to school together. I was a senior. He was a freshman when I was a senior. We played ball together. We grew up together on the baseball field, Little League, all that. He's one of the first of all, he's a good friend. He's one of my really good friends, and like I said, we go way back. But he's just a good guy, and his passion and love for these kids is absolutely amazing. What he pours in this program, what he asks of our coaches, it's just second to none.
Brian, we want to thank you for giving us some time tonight. I know that you're a busy man. And let me also say this. Now, this is just not on my behalf, but our entire staff here at your high school sports, and I don't say this just because you're standing here. This is one of our favorite places to come. And you guys always make space for us. You always treat us great. You always make sure that we're taken care of.
I want our program to be out there.
Yes.
Anyway, if people want to come and be on the radio or do a live stream or whatever, I want our kids, our band right now out there getting dance team. I want all that to be out there for everybody to see, because these kids deserve it.
Yes, they do. And it's so interesting. We do that every week. Mm-hmm. Every week we take time to focus on those band kids, because I'm going to tell you, these band kids work sometimes as hard, if not harder, than our football players.
My youngest daughter right now is in the band at UT.
Really?
Yeah, and she made travel squad and everything. A little bragging on her tonight. JoJo, she might be. Now, I think she's actually here tonight. She came in, but she'll be on the field tomorrow night, opening that tee up on the dark mode. And that's. But you're right. Those kids that are out there right now on the field, they put just as much time in as the football team does. I mean, they really do.
Brian, thank you so much for joining us.
Anytime
thank you.
We'll see you in a few weeks on our senior night.
We're also going to be at Crockett that night.
That's right. You sure
are. We sure are. Hey, take care. Thank you so much. Well, that's a busy man right there. As I said, most people don't know what an athletic director does, but he's a fine one. I'll tell you what, he's constantly, all the time, involved doing something. And boy, we just don't appreciate what ADs do in order to get ready for a game. But lots of times it falls on their shoulders because many times everybody knows public schools are just understaffed, so somebody has to do it. So let's go ahead and bring up some scores from this area. And now as we talk about Cherokee and Granger, Cherokee up 7-0 there. Claiborne and Chucky Doak still not at 0. Some of these scores, no doubt, very early. Daniel Boone up on Cocke County 14-0 as Daniel Boone looks to right the ship, struggled a bit. Just talked about David Crockett there with the AD Brian Ashley, and they're going to be traveling. That is our last game of the season. Interestingly enough, our plan is right now is to bring you a doubleheader that last week as we go to Northview and Sullivan East and then finish our season with Sevier County and Crockett. And boy, those games are going to determine a lot as playoffs kind of loom there on the horizon. Elizabethton up 3-0 there over Dobbins Bennett. We talked about that tonight, how we were split as a crew. That'd be a big win for Elizabethton over that DB crew. Greenville over Sullivan East. Once again, that should be early. I'm surprised Greenville's not put up more points on that East team. Moorestown West, who have played a tough schedule this year and have played a lot of teams very tough, up by 4 on Jeff County there in the second quarter. Most of these games heading for the half. Johnson County up 8-0 over Pigeon Forge, as Pigeon Forge have had a difficult season. No score there in the Northview Carter game. Science Hill West Ridge should be a dandy there too. If you are from the Tri-Cities area, a big feature today in the press about that 3-receiver set that Science Hill has and how they're improving each week. But Science Hill, the Hilltoppers, and West Ridge Wolves are tied at 7 right now. South Green up 14-0 over Seymour. And a bit of a surprise here, still early, but Unicoi County Blue Devils up on the Gatlinburg-Pittman Highlanders. William Blunt early up over Union County. Cofield has 2 good teams there in 2A play each other. Cofield up over Oakdale 14-0. Bradley Central up by 4 over Farragut. We talked about that game early in the season. Farragut hanging tough with a very good Bradley Central team. Loudoun County up by 7 over Kingston early in that one. Oak Ridge up by 14 over Knox Central. Halls trying to rebound last week over that big loss at the hands of Powell, up 10-0 over Heritage. Bearden and Maryville 7-7, and when we talked about next week going to be at Bearden. 7-7 there at the half. South Doyle and Fulton still early in that game, no score. Oh my goodness, my eyes just popped as I saw that score. Now, you know, I talked about tonight how I liked Alcoa, particularly with the loss of Marshawn Bowers that makes that offense go, but a little bit of a surprise there. As Alcoa up big over Knox West right now. I believe that game was a few minutes before the half. 17-0. Campbell and Gibbs still early. Powell up big on Carnes 20-3. Smith County and Upperman, who's been consistently ranked near the top in 4A, but no score in that game. As we continue to rattle off these scores. Was that the end of our scoreboard? That's the end of our scoreboard. Well, we're standing right here at just 3 minutes and 33 seconds. I think it's extremely important right now because we've talked almost through this entire halftime show. Once again, Sevier County Electric Company. We appreciate them sponsoring and bringing you this halftime show. But let's go ahead and take a break with just 3 minutes before kickoff and acknowledge some of our sponsors. Once again, here at the half, Smoky Bears up by 5 over the Hawks of Hardin Valley. Stanifer's not looked bad. He's really not, but has made some bad decisions in regards to passes. And whether it's decision making or simply inaccuracy, you've got to clean that up.
Yeah.
For the Bears, a lot of this is getting your offense in a better position with your second down, because it seems like so much tonight they've been behind the chains when they get into second down, and they're trying to make up that territory when they're looking at a 2nd and 9 or a 2nd and 8. Newman has at points and times looked very good. His fakes as far as his pumps and everything, and freezing the corner, they're outstanding for, we're talking about a freshman here, by the way.
For sure.
But we'll see how this goes tonight in the second half, as deep back, who, as we already talked about, tied the career standard for interceptions with his pick there in the second period, which set up the second touchdown. He's back deep. And here to kick off for it's Joseph Thomas as he kicks back. Pooches it. Not handled well, but able to corral it off the bounce. Hedrick looking for some space, and not much there as he's able to get out to the 21-yard line, where the Bears are going to set up house there. It's Claybo's Campground. First down. That looked kind of dangerous there for a second.
Yeah, it did. That took an awkward bounce and nearly went over the head of Hedrick there, and good job to corral that ball and get down to get this offense. Not terrible starting position, but definitely not the best.
Yeah.
I'll be really interested to see, like we said, how they come out to build this momentum for this drive and establish this offense.
I'm also going to be really interested to see how much more they have Mason Ellis back in the quarterback spot as they go to that Wildcat formation. So, Newman back with tailback off his shoulder. Malachi Pate there. Throw out to the flat. Speaking of Mason Ellis, he's got some space, but great open field tackle there by Holbrook as he's able to bring number 41, Nathan Holbrook, as he's able to bring him down in the open field and keep him to a very short gain and a play that looked as though the running lane had opened up for Mason. He was going to pick up good yardage.
Yeah, Ellis had a lot of room there if he broke that tackle. That's a really good, really important tackle because, like you said, Ellis is a key to this offense, and he's extremely dangerous. And
we just talked about this just a minute ago. The Bears getting positive yardage on first down and not facing these second down and longs.
Yeah.
So good little juke move right there as he's able to, number 84 there, trying to pick up a number for the Bears.
It's going to be Gage Carr.
Gage Carr, the freshman, getting some moments in as he's able to cut there. And we'll bring up third down and about 4 for the Bears.
And Carr's going to stay in the game. He's going to stay in the backfield here. I'm really intrigued to see how Sevier County is going to use him. Obviously looking to get him involved quickly.
I'm looking for Pate, who's typically in the backfield, but I do not see him. Newman rolling out. He's able to find the receiver out there in the flat, and that's going to give the Bears a first down. Hedrick there for the tackle as Mason Ellis, once again, as we called out his name a whole bunch tonight, able to get the first down, and that moves the sticks for the Bears.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about going into the second half, is having Sevier County's big players make big plays and do what we're used to seeing them do, and Ellis has certainly been doing that.
So 3 receivers set on the near side, 1 receiver up top. Carr stays in the backfield. Newman surveys the field. Good time back in the pocket, and he's got, boy, that seam route was there. But he just overthrew him by a lot.
He did overthrow him. There was great protection, and it looked like a great ball out of his hand, but overshot his receiver on that. And, man, if that had connected, that would have been a huge gain. And it's still a really good look from Cooper Newman. You want that ball on target, but he hucked that ball downfield and stayed in the pocket, stayed composed. If you can get those balls on target, you've got a really good quarterback.
By the way, important to note, all the time in the world as far as protection
Absolutely.
goes there, as Magaha and Vansbrook leads this line. Handoff there is he's able to get good yardage there on the second down. And that's going to move the sticks to bring up a more manageable third down as we're looking at third and mid here. Officially, we'll go 3rd and 5 there as we go under 10 minutes here in the third period.
Yeah, and on the third down previously on this drive, we saw that little out route pass that's been really effective. I wouldn't be surprised to see that again here, or maybe even that flat pass that we've seen them have success on.
So quick handoff. No, keeps is boy, and the Hawks just sniffed that out and they close it down. Once again, Nathan Holbrook is there on the scene first, and he's joined by Pierce Palmer, and that's going to force these Bears into a kicking situation.
Yeah, that's a really big play. That's a big third down. Sevier County looked really threatening. They looked like they had figured some things out in the locker room and looked like this was going to be that 2-for-1 deal we talked about before the break. But a good stop there, able to get a tackle for loss and force a punt.
So lots on the line for the Falcons, and they almost get back for the block, but not quite. And I think that blue hit off his leg. Maybe not.
Rolls to the 1 yard line. Did they snatch it?
No, okay. This is going to be interesting. Okay, the call is made for a touchback. Oh, my gosh. We talked about dangerous just a minute ago and how those Bears fielded their kickoff, East Tennessee Spine kickoff. East Tennessee Spine located in 2 locations, the official chiropractor of your high school sports. But that was near tragedy.
Yeah, it was. It was just an awkward play. He called the fair catch and let it drop behind him. He didn't really seem to know what he wanted to do with the football, and it nearly turned disastrous, like you said. From this angle, it did look like it might have
off his leg.
It looked like it might have gotten him there on the leg, but luckily it didn't, and just a touchback, as they'll have a long field to work with here.
So Brady Level in the backfield, Nottifer is able to hand off to him, and boy, the Bears stack that up. Officially, I think that's a gain of about 1 as it brings up after the Clabough's Campground first down. It's going to bring up second down and very long for these Hawks. Officially second down and 8 as we are at the 8-minute-and-a-half mark of the third period.
Yeah,
this reminds us of the start of the first game. Both these teams just sort of sniffing each other out and trying to get a grip.
That's what I was going to say. Is they're both running not necessarily conservative plays, but it seems like they are still trying to get a feel for the opponent.
Standing for back pressure, and is able to get in the flat, but not much there as the back just slips and goes down. But what that's going to do is bring up third down and about 6. As for the Hawks there, that pass is thrown to number 22, Brady Loveland, but unable to get his footing once he...
a short gain on that, but still a really good play by Stanifer to get out of the pocket and to get that ball out. Because that
a lot of pressure right there.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. That could have easily been a big play for the Sevier County defense.
I believe that was a corner blitz from what that looked like in the backfield. But still able to turn something a little positive out of something very negative. 3 receiver top up top. Goes out in the flat, and he does have some space up there as he goes to the sideline. He's going to get first down. That's going to be a Clabough's Campground first down. I believe that was Brady Loveland as well there, as he's able to hit him basically in that wheel route and has picked up good yardage there to move the sticks.
Yeah, they've had a lot of success on those short routes, not necessarily behind the line of scrimmage, but near or at the line of scrimmage, and letting your blocking develop and letting your athletes work. And on that play, it worked to perfection, able to scamper for a good gain and get the first down, keep these chains moving.
So, the Bears here, if you're just joining us, nursing a 5-point lead at the midway period here in the third period. The Hawks trying to get something going offense, and just nothing there as that ball is thrown too far outside to Brady Abercrombie and not able to connect with his receiver. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know that would have went very far if he'd have made.
Yeah, I don't either. There was a lot of commotion going on down at that line, a lot of different routes being run, and a lot of commotion. So, not necessarily a dangerous pass, but not one that you had a chance to connect or a chance to do anything, even if it was caught. So, got to regroup and see if they're going to throw the ball here on second down. Something they've not done much.
No.
Coming out in a 5-wide set, though, is promising.
Well, one thing you see out of Stanifer, he likes to throw on the run. Able to move. Oh, they're getting that open territory. Big pickup there by Stanifer as he's able just to move it all the way down to the 42-yard line of the Bears. And we've talked about this over and over again for this Bears team. But once again, they break contain.
Absolutely, yeah. a design quarterback run, and there Stanford's just showing you his ability with his legs that he has. He's shown it already in this game, and that time that is a huge first down to move them into Sevier County Bear territory. And this is something. This is one of those keys, building offensive momentum. And as long as they can keep it going, this is looking good for Hardin Valley.
And one thing you've got to tip your cap to these Hawks is their wide receivers Shelby and Hayes do a great job on the outside blocking.
They sure do, yeah.
Oh, big play there as we look for a number 29 there for the Sevier County Bears. Noah Wyrick able to get into the backfield and throw the QB for a big loss.
Yeah, that sack is huge. Right as I was talking about getting momentum and keeping the ball rolling, a huge sack there to shift the momentum to Sevier County again.
Well, if you're looking for some free frozen custard, I'm talking about free frozen custard, come on and give us the answer to this trivia question tonight. This athlete who split time between the Eagles and the Packers in the NFL leads UT in season sacks at 15. Who is it? Well tackled in the open field there by the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears defense is looking potent coming into the second half. They've made some mistakes, obviously on this first defensive drive, but they're showing some of their really good qualities here with the sack and another tackle for loss. That's huge to get this Hawks offense on their heels and hopefully get some momentum if you're that Smoky Bears offense.
And, we've called his name out tonight, and boy, Coach Loveday was quick to brag on him, but Tyler Mann just seems like he's all over the field at times.
He does, yeah. He's made so many plays tonight. He's been huge.
So third down and very long. And there's, oh boy, that was very close to being the third pick of the night for Stanford.
Yeah, it was, and I don't know about the decision on that throw there. There was a lot of purple and not a lot of white jerseys there. Very lucky that ball wasn't intercepted, and lucky that they've got a chance to punt this ball away here and pin these Bears deep.
And boy, it had to look like Thanksgiving dinner for Mason Ellis right there, as there was a lot of open field for him to turn that ball around. So, regardless, the Hawks will punt this ball away. Hendrick back deep. And it's just simply going to go into the end zone where the Bears will take over at their own 20. Once again, boy, and it's good. Have you had Andy's before, Harrison?
I have.
It's amazing.
It's excellent.
I'm trying to get some up in the Tri-Cities. But once again, this athlete who split time between the Eagles and the Packers in the NFL leads UT in season sacks of 15. Who is this player?
They kind of go in unison and kind of pull over together.
So, four receiver set here. Twins right, twins left. With, I believe, is that Gage Carr still in the backfield? No, that is not. But good run there.
Yeah, it's a good first down run, good hard run. And like we've been talking about, second and short, second and manageable really helps an offensive drive. Help an offense get down the field and start rolling. And we'll see if they're able to do that on this drive.
Lindsey there with the carry. Handoff once again. And Costner with the handoff right there is able to pick up good yardage there again for the Bears as they move the sticks. That's going to bring up a Clabough's Campground first down. Clabough's Campground located in the Great Smoky Mountains in beautiful Pigeon Forge. So after that pickup, Newman waits and handoff again. Pate getting some space, and Pate gets all the way near midfield, and Pate's just special, isn't he?
Yes, he certainly is. That play, he turned that play from a good gain into a really good gain, getting the first down, making guys miss. He was close to breaking that thing for even more. But like you said, that just shows the kind of athlete that he is. Absolutely outstanding.
So the Bears take over there at their 49-yard line as Newman claps there waiting for the ball. Quick handoff again to Costner. Costner just powers his way as he drops his shoulder all the way down into Hawks territory. Spotted there at the 44-yard line. And you just see the difference. And I think what we're trying to see out of these Bears right now, alternating between the speed and the quickness of Pate, who goes out into the far side, and then Costner coming in to provide some power. Newman looking, and he's got a man open. He's got a step. And unfortunately, and there's the flag, and you knew because the bump came first. That's going to be pass interference.
Man, that is unfortunate for Hardin Valley, but a huge, huge opportunity for Sevier County to cement their will on this game.
Let's talk about what just happened right there, Harrison, because what happened, and we see it a lot in football, the ball was underthrown. Your receiver goes back to make the adjustment on Tal Henderson, and Tal Henderson just runs right through the receiver.
Yeah, in that situation, the advantage is nearly always going to go to the receiver, because that when in high school as a DB, like in college, it's not like the NFL. You don't have to turn around. You can play the receiver's body, but a good receiver, like you saw in this situation, can slow up and get you to run into him and get that call to be called. Yep. And, that's huge in that spot.
And you're spot on, because 90% of the time as the receiver goes back, he's going to get that call.
Absolutely.
We got whistles. And we'll see what our call is here. That's offsides against Hardin Valley, and what that's going to do is that's going to give the Bears 5 free yards as the ball is moved down to the 24-yard line of the Hawks. That'll also give them first down and short here to begin this drive. After the Clabough's Campground first down. Newman handoff to Pate. Pate keeps the legs moving, keeps moving, working towards the sideline, cuts back in, and is able to get all the way down to the 18-yard line before he's eventually taken down by the Bears, led there by Michael Stewart.
Goodness, once again, just showing the insane athletic ability, making 6-7 guys miss there. Not a huge gain, only a gain about 6 or 7, but just, again, showing you the extreme agility and skill of Malachi Pate.
And, it's a situation where with him, it doesn't matter if he gets hit, doesn't matter if he runs into his own blocker, it doesn't matter. He always keeps those legs moving. He always keeps those feet chopping and getting positive yardage. So Newman rolls out, finds a man. Oh, boy, I bet he'd like to have that pass open because Mason Ellis had room there and probably could have cut that up and may have walked into the end zone.
Yeah, that was a missed opportunity there. That's, that sort of pass is hard to defend, especially when you're throwing it to someone like Mason Ellis who can, you can catch that ball and cut up on you, and even if he doesn't, it's a very safe throw. That's a throw that you'd like to be able to make 9 times out of 10.
Now, that throw right there across the body is a difficult throw.
For sure.
No doubt. But, when we start talking about Cooper Newman and having that arm strength and that ability, you've got to see that throw out of him.
Yeah, you do.
So a reverse, and he's got space as Ellis is able to move all the way down to the 12-yard line. Pushed out of bounds there by Tommy Joseph, but not before. Bringing up 3rd down and about 3 yards as we get to the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, just a little bit of misdirection on the end around there to Ellis, and if he's not dangerous enough, straight up, add the little misdirection on there, and that's a real easy gain. And a 3rd and short here on the 12. It'll be real interesting to see what philosophy they go with. And it's going to be Pate. Is he going to get it? Doesn't look like it, Ron.
No. I'm going to bring up 4th down and about 1, and this is 2-down territory for Coach Loveday.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, make no doubt about it, he's got a great kicker in Taylor Madison, but knowing Coach Loveday, no doubt he's going to trust that offensive line led by Hayes and Green, Cunningham, McGaha, and Van Rensburg to push the defensive line of the Hawks and pick up this 1st down. I think all this is key to watching Newman and how he lines up, and he goes under center. Handoff, and he's going to get the 1st down and then some. As this is going to bring up a 1st down, Clabough's Campground 1st down. This is going to be 1st down and goal here at the 1.5-minute mark.
Yeah.
We've not had anybody answer a trivia question yet. Simple trivia question. That is, who is the all-time single-season sacks leader? I think they're Packers and the Eagles.
Go in the 3rd quarter. Hawks trail 12-7.
So it's going to bring up 1:17.
Clabough's Campground and Cabins and Clabough's Market & Grill have been family-owned and operated since 1978. Clabough's Campground is spacious, with 320 sites including vacation homes and cabins. Great location for family reunions and large groups with entertainment on the weekends. Make reservations at Clabough's Campgrounds and Cabins, located on 405 Wears Valley Road, Pigeon Forge.
Where'd you get that grin? Right above your chin. Top your day with a smile at Andy's. Top your day with a smile at Andy's. Top your day.
Bacon and Company.
We're back, 1:17. Still waiting for an answer for our Andy's frozen custard trivia question. Got to go back a little bit for this player who played primarily in the early 80s. A split time between the Eagles and the Packers. Newman back, waiting for the snap. Looks, surveys the field, trying to find a receiver open. And where is the toe tap? There is a toe tap, and that is a touchdown. A Sevier County Utility District touchdown, and the body control showed by Malachi Pate. Just incredible there.
He continues to put on a show, and that catch is good tonight, and it'd be good on Sundays too. He got both feet in. A great display of athleticism once again, just absolutely taking this drive into his own hands and showing you just how good he is. Malachi Pate again.
Now we don't know who it's going to be right now, but boy, for our player of the game, but boy, Malachi Pate just wrote his name down big time and tossed his name in the hat and said, "Look at me, fellas, I'm here."
He certainly made a statement.
Back for the kick. It is up, and it's good. And you know, Harrison, Loveday talked about Madison and a weapon. He's not missed an extra point all season long.
Right, and that is so crucial. You know, in a situation, you know, in the game situations, having a kicker that you can depend on is great.
Oh yeah, and you know, we have been into some games where teams have struggled. I'm thinking about Fulton.
Yep.
You know, for sure, that didn't have that kicking game, and it came back to bite them.
It sure does. It's, you know, it's one of those things where you don't really realize how much it affects the game until you don't have it. So to be able to have the kicking ability that Sevier County does is a huge benefit.
Well, we have a winner for our Andy's Frozen Custard gift cards. Spence Hammond, who provided the answer, which was, of course, Reggie White. Reggie White, the single season sack leader with 15. So, Spence Hammond, we will be sending you some gift cards to Andy's Frozen Custard. You can get some on your way out of the stadium tonight if you're here with us. Boy, that's some good frozen custard. Madison back for the kickoff, gets a hold of this one and then some. And, you know, we talked about earlier tonight, Madison's ability to do that all night long. Surprised he's not done it all night long.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they chose to go with the pooch kick on those first two kickoffs, but the last two have been an exhibition in his leg strength.
So we want to thank everybody for tuning in with us tonight. Charlotte Rogers is watching. Josie Ford is watching from New York City. Thank you, Josie Ford, for tuning in tonight. So once again, we want to encourage everyone to go to the East Tennessee Coaches Show that's hosted with Roddy Woods every week, wherever you find your podcast at. So we'll see now as the Hawks come out how they're able to answer now with the Bears up by 12 and this third period coming to an end. And you know, Harrison, you got a whole quarter in front of you. If you're Coach Minor, how much do you open up the playbook and get aggressive now down by 12?
You know, I think you need to open it up a little bit, but down 12, it's still a two-possession game. You're you know, by no means out of it. You don't have to stick to a conservative mindset, but you do need to stay safe with your aggression.
So with the fake, Standifer looking, in single coverage, and nearly, it is picked off the deflection. And are you kidding me? Malachi Pate, who just did have the toe tap touchdown, a Sevier County Utility District toe tap touchdown, answers with a pick.
I'm going to run out of words to say about this young man if he keeps this up. On both sides of the ball, doing everything, just an absolute stud.
You know, when we ran this, Chris, our production guy, remembers this drill all too well, the Oski drill. That was simply an Oski drill right there, where the ball hopped up in the air, and you keep your eyes and your vision up and locate the ball and bring it down. What a big play for these Bears as they're looking to put their foot on the throat of these Hawks.
Yeah, if they can score on this drive, that might just be the nail in the coffin.
Cooper Newman looking, pressure up the middle. He's got to get rid of the football.
Wow.
And does not, and is taken down by Palmer there for a loss of about 6. Now, you know, there's an issue here. When you're an athlete, you want to make a play, but sometimes you just simply got to throw it away and live to play another set.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that also might have just been a case of, you know, he is a freshman, he's young. That's a learning moment. So great ability to evade the pressure to begin with, but like you said, sometimes you gotta cut your losses, and on that time he didn't, and it cost him a sack.
You know, sometimes as a quarterback, you just try to do too much, and that was the case right there. Well, that's going to bring an end to our third period, as the Bears have been able to push their lead to 12 here as we go into the final period. Hey, do stay with us. Should be an exciting end to this defensive ball game so far. But once again, the score, Sevier County Bears 19, Hardin Valley 7. We'll be right back after this break for your high school sports. This is Ron Marvel.
Clabough's Campground and Cabins and Clabough's Market & Grill have been family-owned and operated since 1978. Clabough's Campground is spacious, with 320 sites including vacation homes and cabins. Great location for family reunions and large groups with entertainment on the weekends. Make reservations at Clabough's Campgrounds and Cabins, located on 405 Wears Valley Road, Pigeon Forge.
Where'd you get that grin? Right above your chin. Top of your day. With a smile at Andy's top of your day. With a smile at Andy's top of your day.
Bacon & Company is a family-owned and operated company that's been in Knoxville, Tennessee since 1925. Because we're a full-service operation, we have product design and development, printing, embroidery, sewing. We have fulfillment, warehousing, and then shipping, to our end user or customer. When someone comes into Bacon & Company, we want to fulfill their needs, what they want, and we'll do everything we can in our power to make sure that they leave happy.
At Sevier County Electric System, we know that when the power goes out, it's important to you to have power restored as quickly as possible. That's why we've introduced the Power Action Line. As soon as you call the Power Action Line from a phone associated with your electric service, we know immediately that your power is out. The Power Action Line lets us answer up to 1,200 calls per hour, so we can make sure and identify all outages, even after major storms. We track those outages through our integrated mapping system, which provides our operations center a better understanding of where the affected areas are located and predicts probable starting points that helps our crews begin looking for the problem. Our whole goal is to get your power back on as soon as possible. We'll even call you back to make sure your service has been restored. At Sevier County Electric System, we want to take care of our customers, and that's what we do every day. Sevier County Electric System. We are the power behind our community. Just call 865-774-6300.
Where'd you get that grin? right above your chin. Top your day with a smile at Andy's top your day. With a smile at Andy's top your day.
Clabough's Campground and Cabins and Clabough's Market and Grill have been family owned and operated since 1978. Clabough's Campground is spacious with 320 sites including vacation homes and cabins. Great location for family reunions and large groups with entertainment on the weekends. Make reservations at Clabough's Campgrounds and Cabins located on 405 Wears Valley Road, Pigeon Forge.
We're back after Taylor Madison punt. There's able to get a good roll. The Hawks take over at around the 22-yard line. And Standifer tonight, who has at points in time struggled with his arms, continues to make plays with his legs.
Yeah, he does. That's been the one shining thing about his performance tonight, is that he's been able to make some plays with his legs, as he does here. Ooh.
Oh, stuck by Mason Ellis. Whew. Good. And he will feel that one in the morning.
Yes, sir, he will. Ellis continuing to make plays on both sides of the ball. He's been one of those on both sides that has had a great game for Sevier County.
So that's going to bring up second down and about 3. Even after the stick, good yardage there picked up by Hardin Valley as they continue to push the ball towards midfield. Standifer back in shotgun, 2 receiver set. And that halfback there on the hinge. Trying to do something with his legs, and good open field tackle by, guess who? Malachi Pate.
Yes, sir. He's there as always, and that play just never developed. He tried to get to the outside and see if he could bust it down the sideline, and unable, as Pate was just there and wrapped him up with a nice, good hit.
We'll also give some love tonight to the freshman as well, Patrick Newman, Parker Newman, who's been involved on several plays as well. And that's one of the things that Coach, the AD, talked to me about tonight, was the young core of this team being in place and going to be good for some years to come.
Yeah, that's absolutely huge for this program.
Standing for a little slide arm sling right there, is able to connect to his receiver as he's able to get towards midfield. Hogriff there turns it up after catching that sidearm sling for a Clabough's Campground first down. Moves the ball to just a tick shy of the 50-yard line.
Yeah, and hopefully it's not too little too late for these Hawks, because they're starting to look good.
Yeah.
Standifer is making some of the best plays that he's made so far tonight on the ground and in the air. If they can keep this up, it's looking interesting.
So 8-minute mark, toss out to the flat, and he's able to avoid the tackler and pick up good yards as Tyler Mann is able eventually to rattle him down there. That was looking for a number there, number 49 for those Hawks, but I don't see that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one either. Either way, what a play!
Yeah, good
keep
play.
The composure and because that play could have been a disaster in the backfield, and to get a good chunk there is nice.
And Harrison, we look at that a lot, and particularly with high school kids, sometimes they want to make the big play defensively. Sometimes you just got to break down and make the tackle.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Standifer continues to march his team down the field, and just simply overthrown there as Houghton did have a step there on the corner. Mason Ellis there and Slayton Hibney back deep, but Standifer not able to connect. The receiver there had a step or two on the corner.
Yeah, he did. Hogriff was on both of those defenders on him. He had a good couple yards, and if that ball was on the money, that could have easily been 6, but Standifer not able to put it on in his hands, and that's a shame. It'll bring up a big 3rd and 4 here for the Hawks.
And Jeremiah Britton, whose name we've not called, has just been sound all night long in that defensive line, clogging up holes. Costner there in quick, but Stanford able to get past him as the receiver's able to hold him at bay with a good block. Tyler Mann there on the tackle along with Joey Gallison. So this is going to bring up, maybe for the Hawks, the biggest play of the game, a 4th down and short.
Yeah, you got to have this if you're Hardin Valley. Whatever your best 1-yard play is, you got to pull it out here.
So they're going to go ahead and take a timeout, and while they take their timeout, we'll go ahead and take a timeout ourselves and take a break with the Hawks marching down the field to try to make this a game once again. Stay with us here as we finish off this game. Once again, this is Ron Marble for your high school sports. Stay with us as we take.
Clabough's Campground and Cabins and Clabough's Market and Grill have been family owned and operated since 1978. Clabough's Campground is spacious with 320 sites including vacation homes and cabins. Great location for family reunions and large groups with entertainment on the weekends. Make reservations at Clabough's Campgrounds and Cabins located on 405 Wears Valley Road, Pigeon Forge.
Where'd you get that grin? Right above your chin. Top of your day. With a smile at Andy's top of your day. With a smile at Andy's top of your day.
Bacon & Company is a family-owned and operated company that's been in Knoxville, Tennessee since 1925. Because we're a full-service operation, we have product design and development, printing, embroidery, sewing. We have fulfillment, warehousing, and then shipping, to our end user or customer. When someone comes into Bacon & Company, we want to fulfill their needs, what they want, and we'll do everything we can in our power to make sure that they leave happy.
So we're back. Big moment there just on 4th down, as we had just talked about Jeremiah Britton having a big game. The Hawks Stanford there with a hard count, able to get him to jump, which extends this drive for the Hawks, and then Jeremiah Britton picks up another 10 yards to keep the ball moving and the chains moving as we look at another Clabough's Campground 1st down.
Yeah, these Hawks are starting to show some life a little bit late here in this 4th quarter. Consecutive 1st downs on plays from the penalty and the QB scamper. So let's see if they can punch this in and keep it going.
Stanford back, 3 receiver set, and he rolls out to the side looking as he gets pressure, able to step up to avoid some and just dumps, but that ball hits off the ground.
Wow, what a play.
Hayes able to move down, but I swear I think that ball bounced off the ground.
All around, that was just an odd play. We got a player down at about the 18-yard line.
Bryson Hendrick has 2 interceptions.
Oh, no. That's number 0, Bryson
That's
Hendrick.
Bryson Hendrick. They ill can afford to lose him in the secondary.
We hope he is okay. So looks like they're putting the ball on there. Saying get rid of it.
Man, I wasn't able to see what exactly happened, what he might be dealing with, but whatever it is, we hope he's all right, because he's absolutely instrumental to this Sevier County team on offense and defense, as he's shown tonight.
Yeah, I've got the binoculars out to try to see if I can tell anything. All I see right now is right now, as the physical therapist is out there providing some first aid, I don't see much of any movement. I think they're just simply having a conversation with Hedrick right now. The young man's had a big game tonight.
Yeah, he sure has, and you just hope that he gets up and is all right, because man, what a shame it'd be if there's something serious. There you go. That's good to see up on his own power. Doesn't seem to be limping too hard.
No, I don't see much of a limp right there.
No. that's great to see. You love to see that, and hope that young man's all right and can get back in the game and keep making plays.
May have simply got his bell rung a little bit there, Harrison, but once again, awkward-looking play that I actually thought that ball touched the ground, regardless of what I think. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 1. A score update from this area. Gatlinburg-Pittman's all over Unicoi County tonight, 33-0. Dobbins, Bennett, and Elizabethton locked up in a tight one, 7-3 at about midway in the 3rd period. So Standiford looks to continue this drive. Standiford takes, finds an open lane there on the outside. And you just have to give some credit to this offensive line tonight that continues to make holes for Standiford. Let's talk about those tackles and Josh Jay and Scotty Stamen. 6'3", 250 pounds. He is a machine.
Yeah, I think we got some laundry on the field, Ron.
I do see it now. Personal foul on the Smoky Bears. What that's going to do is it's going to move the ball half the distance. So it's going to take the ball from the 8 down to the 4-yard line.
Man, what a mistake.
5 minutes and 52 seconds left in this game. That's going to be Clabough's Campground 1st down, and specifically it's going to be a 1st and goal there marked at the 4. This almost feels like a gut check for these Bears.
Yeah, it sure does. It'd be huge if they can get the stop here. 4 chances from 4 yards. So
yeah.
Let's see what both of these guys can do.
This is where you really need your defensive line to step up and make
Absolutely.
big plays. So Standiford under center. Little toe tap. Man in motion. Holgriff is able to pick up a yard and a half before he's wrestled down. Jude Costner there involved on the tackle.
And on something I've noticed on this drive is they're making progress, but they don't seem to really be pressed about time. There's 5 minutes left. It's not the end of the game quite yet, but down 2 scores, you'd think you'd be a little bit quicker to the line.
Yeah. Kane and Booker make up the heart of that defensive line, and they are some big boys to move.
And he got
it. As I say that, Standiford is able to find the hole, and Standiford gets the Sevier County Utility District touchdown, and that's going to make the new score here with just 5 minutes left. The Bears at 19 and the Hawks 13.
Yeah, that's huge. That's just straight up the middle, hard nose, fall over on your line and let them push you in. And, that makes this game a little bit interesting. Pending the extra point, it'll be a 5-point game with 5:01 to go. So,
and you want this extra point, too. If you're and it is good, so all of a sudden we're under 6 points here as the Hawks do in fact answer. Your new score stands here with the Bears 19 and the Hawks 14. Let's go and bring up some scores from the area.
After that is the close, correct?
Chris is working. Our production manager does such a good job each week. He's working to bring those scores up. We'll tell you as well, Heritage is up on Knox Halls. Granger up 21-7 over, Cherokee up 21-7 over Granger. Chucky Doak up 20-6 over Claiborne. Daniel Boone up over Cobb County, and Crockett up big over Volunteer tonight. As we go to the split screen, we continue to share scores. Greenville all over Sullivan East. Jeff County up on Morristown West. Jeff County answered in a big way. They were down, trailing at the half. Pigeon Forge has worked their way back into that game, making it a 1-possession game as well. Waiting for an update in that Elizabeth and Dobbins-Bennett game, and Northview and Carter, as we expect it to be a good game there. Northview has able to push ahead and take the lead there. Most of these games in the 3rd period now. Westridge and Science Hill all knotted up. Seymour, South Green up by 8 in the 3rd quarter, and Gatlinburg-Pittman, as I just said earlier, all over Unicoi. There's your kickoff, and that's going to go through. That ball just kicked back at. Okay, it must have touched. It must have touched the line, because boy, I just thought
I couldn't tell exactly where it landed, but what I thought was a little wonky is there wasn't an immediate touchdown or touchback sign from the ref in the end zone. It took him a couple seconds after the next couple of bounces, but You know,
How big would that have been?
that would have been one of the crazier things I've seen on a football field.
Saw the Bradley Central and Farragut score there as Farragut fights to stay relative in Region 6A 2. So Newman back. No, we're going to that Wildcat again with Mason Ellis. Mason Ellis keeps, and he's able to, boy, and I thought that he was going to sling him, and it's a good thing that he didn't, because that would have been a personal foul.
Yeah, that was close. He took him all the way to the boundary, and
Yes, he did.
but good restraint there to just keep him going and keep him on his feet and keep this drive going. Don't
Yeah,
make any
Nathan-
stupid mistakes.
Nathan Holbrook there on the tackle, and once again, as you said, able to show some self-control and not do something silly right there to give them a big gain on a otherwise gain of 3. So that's going to bring up 2nd down and 7 after the Clabough Campground first down. Ellis here staying in shotgun with the fake, looking for space, and just not much there.
No, there's not. And I like sticking with this Wildcat formation. We know how good of an athlete Mason Ellis is and his experience receiving the snap, but not seeming to get anything going at the moment with it.
So Roman Gibbons trots in as Mason Ellis trots out. So no doubt there, Gibbons bringing in the play with him as he comes in. Malachi Pate in the backfield.
You know, this is
On there with Kremlis.
this is a really, really big play for both teams. You know, this 3rd down, it might as well mean the game.
Newman rolling out. He's got a man.
I think he's going to be
He's
short.
gonna be short.
Yeah, he's short of the line to gain. That's going to bring up a 4th
Well,
and
now,
a foot.
they gave him a pretty good spot.
This is a huge decision.
So what that's going to do is it's going to bring up,
The official
oh boys,
29. It is
4th down and a couple chain links.
Yeah, if that
And
is.
this comes down to a question of how much do you trust that offensive line to make some space for your tailback?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, to be honest, Ron, in this case, I'm putting Mason Ellis under center and letting him fall forward. You know.
Yeah, you know, this is, you know, and if you're the Hawks, you have to be careful, because the first thing that comes to your mind is they're probably trying to draw you off sides right here.
Without a doubt.
in
Without a
this
doubt.
territory.
Yeah.
And we'll see what this is. And he's trying to hard count right now. Newman stands up. And Sevier County's going to take the timeout, and they're going to talk about it.
Wow. Well, you know, you see that coming if you're the defense, and you'll get it to work sometimes, but there, Hardin Valley showed some good discipline, so that's going to force Sevier County to run a play, and, you know, there's a lot of different routes you could go, especially with how many players and how many weapons you've got in that Sevier County backfield. But like I said, I think the good old-fashioned QB sneak is the way to go, because you know, anything can happen, and this close to your own end zone with still 4 minutes left, the last thing you want to do is make a mistake and give Hardin Valley the ball this close to the end zone.
Well, an update from Area 1 game. Elizabethton has drawn to within 1 point there, 7-6, beginning of the 4th quarter. Hampton all over Eagleton Academy, 51-13. Greenville all over Sullivan East. And Happy Valley continues to show improvement in that program as they're up 40-0 all over Hancock County. And Jeff County's pushed their lead over Mo West to 10. Let's see what we do here. And Trustin, I think he got the first down.
Easily. Yeah, that's the right call in that situation. No frills, no fuss. Just get the ball over the line, and that's great. And
well, let's talk about just how much trust you have to have in that offensive line if you're Coach Loveday. Big push there by Cunningham and Green as they make space, and he runs off that left side.
Yeah, that's huge there. That's, you know, that might as well just ice the game, barring anything crazy. I don't want to jinx it, but you know, those guys have worked hard all night, and you know, it might have been the biggest play of the night so far is to ice this game.
Now, just as a reminder, there's still 2 minutes left in this game. The Hawks still have 2 timeouts left. So they can call timeout to sort of prevent that icing that you just spoke about. Newman back. Malachi Pate looking, weaving. He's able to pick up good yardage there as he picks up about 4 to bring up 2nd down and about 6 here as the clock continues to tick away. 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And you know, as we talk about those timeouts, Harrison, at what point do you feel like you've got to use one or two of those.
I mean, if you get a stop here, I think if you keep Sevier County to anything but a 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, if you can keep them 1 to 2 yards, you take a timeout, because they're going to do exactly this. They're going to take the play clock all the way down. They're going to use as much time as they can. So yeah, I think you got to start being aggressive with your timeouts and with your play calling.
So 2nd and 6 as Newman hands off quick. Malachi Pate making space for himself, but great open field tackle there by Palmer, who looked like he was going to work towards about midfield there for a second before Palmer wraps him up.
Yeah, Pate again, he always has a chance to break one and nearly did there, but a really good tackle from Palmer, who's been really strong defensively all night.
So that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 4 from the 37-yard line of the Bears. And boy, if the Bears are able to pick up this first down, it's going to make it darn near impossible.
Yeah,
for these Hawks.
Yeah,
big play here by the Hawks. As they go jumbo right there, and not much.
Oh my!
And that's going to, in all likelihood, force them into a punting situation. So, boys, stay tuned. 1:44 with 2 timeouts is an eternity in high school football.
Yes, sir, it is, and we've got a ball game on our hands. This game has been tight all night, and barring anything, barring a first down on 4th down here, we should be in for a real treat to end this game.
We have a Hawk down, and I'm trying to get a number right there. I think that's Brady Minor, who's down on the field. And, they went jumbo right there, did the Bears, but just no space.
No, the line for one of the first times tonight wasn't able to open any gaps, and Pate had nowhere to go. And unfortunately for Sevier County, puts them in a 4th down spot that's, really tough. If I'm Coach Loveday, I do think I pumped the ball away. Your defense has been strong all night. You've made mistakes, but you've got to trust them at some point. And I just don't think it's worth the risk of another one of those plays and giving Hardin Valley the ball back, at the Sevier County 38.
So, as you're watching there, Brady Minor, the corner, is getting help off the field. We hope that young man is okay. So that's going to put Taylor Madison on the field, and early in the game he had about a 65-yard punt. We'll see how he responds in this one as I'm going to tell you what, they've got numbers right now. I expect the Hawks to send the house right here.
I was going to say the same thing, Ron.
Good kick. Oh, not one of his best ones. But once again takes okay bounce, not a great one, but an okay, where it's down there by Joey Gallazin. So, 1:33, 2 timeouts left in this game. And, you've got to open it up a little bit. You've got to move the chains. And, in this situation, often it's been Shelby that they'll go to, or they'll often try to throw that wheel route out there. Now, the one thing, if you're the Bears, you have to look out for is that deep seam route.
Absolutely. That's been open a handful of times tonight, but haven't been able to connect. That's a good play.
That is a good opening play to start this series. That also stops the clock and picks up about 7 yards right there off the arm of Standifer.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want on a first down play at this part of the field with this much time. You're just trying to get the ball to the perimeter so you can get the first down or get out of bounds and stop the clock. The last thing you want is to have to burn a timeout or let that clock run.
We've seen it, Harrison, lots of times tonight when they need a play. Hallgriff lots of times will step up and be that guy. So him working the middle of the field would not be out of the question. Bears in motion. Good open field tackle there by Tyler Mann as he's able to hold on. But Hallgriff, once again, as they go hurry up, is able to push the ball down to the 41-yard line, and they spike the ball with 1:15 left.
Yeah, that's. What do you think about that decision?
No, I don't. I don't
spike
think,
there.
No, I don't. I think you have them on their
Yeah.
heels. The clock hadn't even started yet.
Yeah.
So
I don't.
it's just a waste of a down.
Yeah, I don't fully understand that at all. You got 2 timeouts in your pocket. Like you said, the clock hadn't even started. I'm not sure that they'd even tried to get a play call in. I think
Well, and the other thing that it does is you've got a Bears team that's on their heels right there. Now you give them time to reset.
Exactly, and make a substitution here late.
So Brady Loveland in the backfield as Stanford goes under center. And there's that sidearm sling again as Palmer's able to work himself out of bounds near the 50-yard line where we're going to have 3rd down and about 3 yards there for the Hawks as they do spot it right outside the 50-yard line as we stand at 1:07 left in this game. I'm looking right now. Is Bryson Hendrick in the game? He is in the game. Okay. So he's been able to respond from that injury timeout, and I see him down there up at the top.
And they'll run at him.
Standing for takes. And he picks up nothing, maybe loses a half a yard. So, for all intentional purposes, this is your ball game right here.
Yep, absolutely is. Got to have a big play for both sides of the ball. If you're looking at it from a defensive point of view, you got to plug your gaps. You can't let them through the middle, but you can't let them outside. You got to hold your contain. If you're the offense, you're trying everything you can to stretch that defense out. And so I wouldn't be surprised to see you could see anything from Hardin Valley's playbook here.
Oh, yeah.
So look out for something interesting perhaps.
So let's see how tight they pack in here. As Stanford goes under center. Hogrif in motion. He looks around, and he's got. Oh, that's going to be pass interference. Yep, that sure is.
Wow.
Multiple flags come up, and that was not even close.
Man, oh man. And that's a huge call.
Yes, that's huge there.
That's massive.
As Malachi Pate just runs into the wide receiver.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Man, you hate to see situations like that where a young man's just trying to make a play on the ball and ends up making a mistake like that.
But we need to mention that was actually a pretty good ball off the hands of Stanford.
It was one of his better deep balls.
In that position.
Yeah,
yes, it was.
Sure. There's still a touch in front of him, but it was catchable. And
oh yeah, because if that ball is not within the receiver's scope, then that flag never comes. So we talked about it before. Another big gut check right here for this Bears team, and is just Stanford takes a big hit,
and he's in a lot of pain.
He's in pain right now, providing
man.
the pressure there for the Bears. Once again, the freshman Parker Newman, who's had a night for himself.
Yeah.
And it's so funny. Our production guy, Chris Riddick, who played at ETSU, talked about making the most of your opportunities. And Newman tonight has done just that as Stanford continues to lay on the turf there. And we'll see some movement out of him. We've seen a little bit out of his legs so far, but not much.
Yeah, he seems to be in a lot of pain, Ron.
At least one play, but he is still down on the ground.
I couldn't exactly tell, but he seemed to be clinging to his midsection.
Yeah.
The last thing you'd want is he came down hard. You'd hate a broken rib or something of that nature, but
the young man looks to be okay after the big hit. And we want to state unequivocally that was a clean hit.
Oh yeah,
and
that was a good lick.
But now one thing it's going to do right here in this 2nd and 10 after Claybo's Campground first down, what it's going to do is he's got to step out for at least a play.
Yes, he does. He sure does, and that's going to be, that's going to put your backup in a really tough spot. But you've got 50 seconds. You've still got 2 timeouts, so you can afford to hand the ball off to one of your playmakers and see if they can do something. The last thing you want to do though is let an inexperienced quarterback make a mistake at this point.
So we want to thank Jeff Ramsey for tuning in tonight. Ball thrown up, and that ball, I believe, is picked off.
Well, Ron, what did I say? You can't the first play that he's been in the game, and you're going to send him deep on the best player on the field, already with 2 interceptions, and there was never a doubt about that. Once the ball left the air, you knew who was coming down with it. And, that's just baffling from a Hardin Valley viewpoint. But what a way to seal the game for Sevier County, for Bryson Hedrick and these Sevier County Bears. Just a gutsy performance. Had to scrap it together at times, but, the man in charge does it again and seals the deal.
So that will effectively put an exclamation mark to this game.
Yeah.
And I think we both were in agreement tonight about who our player of the game was tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, on both sides of the ball, 3 interceptions. It just absolutely commanding performance from Bryson Hedrick, and he's going to be a name that is remembered at Sevier County for a long time. Already is. We mentioned a sophomore, the most interceptions in school history. Just an absolutely outstanding player and another outstanding game for Bryson Hedrick.
So, once again, with 41 seconds, Harrison Plumley's going to make his way down to for our Andy's Frozen Custard player of the game. So do stay with us past the post game. Malachi Pate or Bryson Hendrick, which one? So, to just kind of summarize those last few minutes, big play there by Hendrick, who set the all-time career interception record there tonight. As just a rising sophomore, is able to end the game with another pick. And Bryson Hendrick tonight will be our player of the game once again. Boy, and it was close because we had a lot of guys who stood up tonight, including Malachi Pate, who had a good game. Mason Ellis, good game. Cooper Newman tonight certainly looked strong at points. But our player of the game tonight, Bryson Hedrick, as the Bears are able to hold off the late charge by the Hawks. But what a great game tonight. We hope that you have enjoyed it tonight as you were tuning in. But let's go ahead and take a break now. And we'll pay some sponsors. Once again, your final here tonight from Robertson Field is your Sevier County Bears 19 and Hardin Valley Hawks 14. Stay here with us for the post-game show.
Clabough's Campground and Cabins and Clabough's Market & Grill have been family-owned and operated since 1978. Clabough's Campground is spacious, with 320 sites including vacation homes and cabins. Great location for family reunions and large groups with entertainment on the weekends. Make reservations at Clabough's Campgrounds and Cabins, located on 405 Wears Valley Road, Pigeon Forge.
And we'll go to Harrison Plumley with Hendrick on the sideline.
Here with our Andy's Frozen Custard player of the game, Bryson Hedrick. Bryson, absolutely outstanding game. 3 interceptions, made an impact on offense as well. And you are now the Sevier County all-time career leader in interceptions, and you're just a sophomore. What does that mean to you?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
Okay. Really expect first, but I feel to be honest, I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's certainly an exciting feat, and your interceptions played a big role. The game tying or the game sealing, interception to finalize tonight. What does it mean? How does it feel to get a win like this, a hard-fought win, to get to 5-1 going into the toughest part of your schedule?
It took a lot. It wasn't the prettiest or anything, but it hasn't went that well. But like, we've been getting it done.
Absolutely, you've been getting it done, and you got it done tonight. You played great, and we look forward to what you're going to do the rest of the season. Once again, this is Bryson Hedrick, our Andy's Frozen Custard player of the game. Thank you. Thanks, man. Thank you. So you can hold on to that plaque, and then we
appreciate Bryson Hendrick giving us just a few moments there You could see him with the championship belt that he was toting, and he is our Andy's Frozen Custard player of the game once again tonight. Big night by the sophomore who sets the career record for picks tonight, and then turns around and gets one to finish the game off. So once again, Bryson Hedrick, our Andy's Frozen Custard player of the game. Tomorrow, make sure you come to yourhighschoolsports.com, as we will have up 4 different players nominated for our player of the week, and voting on that will start tomorrow around noon. Luke Burkett last week, our player of the week from Gatlinburg Pittman, as we had over 30,000 participate in that vote. Next week, what a dandy. Boy, what a dandy we have for you next week, as we were able to change the schedule last minute, and Bearden graciously agreed to host us. So next week we will be going to see those Bearden Bulldogs, who just showed a big game tonight. A big win over Maryville in the last seconds to hold them out of the end zone for the 2-point conversion, as Bearden posts a big 21-20 win over Maryville.